into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
It is your Wake Up in the Morning Expresso, a Monday morning. A very good morning to you, and thank you for joining us at the start of a brand new week, September 23rd, as we get it started after what's been a very exciting weekend for all sports fans across the board. A rather sad one for South Africa in terms of the Rugby World Cup. We'll catch you up on all of those details. But of course, did you hear that laugh? That laugh of like...
Let me be the first to say, don't panic.
Going on
Nobody
right
panic.
Now. Yeah,
just
of course.
calm down.
What's up, G-Man? How you doing?
Hey, bro.
Very, very well. Come on, you Gunners. Get in there with your Premier League performances. How did your team do over the weekend, Greg?
Brilliant, man. Brilliant.
Was it an amazing performance?
It was an amazing weekend of
we
sport,
love it.
Man. It was a ridiculous weekend of sport. Ridiculous. I'm going to talk about it.
But of course, we're here to get you started on what will be hopefully a very, very good week ahead. And today, starting off equal parts entertaining and inspiring as well, eh?
Yep, really inspirational. I think we're trying to find ways of being inspired by our country at the moment. If I had to ask you one word to describe this beautiful country, what do you think it will be?
Views.
Views?
Yeah. Views.
That's pretty good.
I went for a run yesterday, like a surprising little 5-kilometer run. Just like over the other way. And then I just stopped at some point and just looked at the view. I was like, mountain,
Let me just catch
ocean,
my
roads,
breath. Just have a little look.
cars, people. Wherever you look, it's just views. What would you say?
Hope, man. Wherever I go, I had the opportunity to travel abroad, and I'm struck by the fact that South Africans are just so cool and hopeful.
Yeah.
Despite everything that goes on in this country, everyone has hope here.
Yeah. Resilient people. So that's what we're asking you on social media right now. So if you had to head over to our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page, we say, if a tourist asks you, what's the best thing about South Africa, and you can only use one word to answer that question,
Rugby.
what would you say? Well, by that picture,
Ordinarily, I would say rugby.
you would say rugby. But maybe you'd say something different. Let us know. We'd love to catch up with you this morning and find out what you tell a tourist about the best thing about the country in one word. Gee, let's ask Thabiso. Thabiso, what would you say?
So many awesome things about the country. Where do you start? How do you choose that one word? I wouldn't know where to start. I'm gonna have to think about that one. But listen, it is a brand new day. It is the 38th Monday of the year 2019, and hopefully you are up for some feel good this Monday. Thanks so much for choosing to wake up with us. My name is Thabiso Makubela. We're getting right into it, starting off with a weather update across the major parts of the country, starting off in Johannesburg, where it's mainly sunny conditions with nice warm temperatures throughout the day today. A northerly wind can be expected with increasing cloud cover towards the evening and showers in places. And if you're out in Durban, it's rainy today, mainly cloudy conditions with occasional sunshine and a southwesterly wind that dies down towards the evening. A passing shower can also be expected as the day progresses. With partly cloudy conditions, be prepared for rain out in Durban. And if you're out in Port Elizabeth, it's times of clouds and sun with a morning shower and a southwesterly wind for the entire day. And as the evening approaches, cloud cover will increase and the wind will die down. Clear skies are expected from Wednesday onwards. That's for you, Port Elizabeth. In the mother city, Cape Town, sunny conditions with clear skies and a southeasterly wind for the duration of the day. Humidity will increase as the day progresses. Despite windy conditions, a warm sunset can still be expected today out here in Cape Town. So it's going to be a beautiful day. It does sound like it's a nice, go easy type of day in most parts of the country. And hopefully that sets you up and you know exactly what to wear today. Now, it is a Monday and we're saying happy Monday, y'all. We all need that quick fix on a Monday, especially after the weekend. And of course, most people will tell you that an instant makeup look that gives us a feel-good boost rather, is the thing to do. Now, I'm joined right now by Expresso makeup artist Bernice and Anel van Veek. They always work their magic behind the scenes. They do all the face beats and they panel beat everyone that comes onto this show, especially on a Monday where most of us really look like we do need that fix. But Bernice, it's summertime almost. You know, the days are getting warmer and warmer. That means you're switching up the look. And I know that Sir John's done quite a bit of work with Woolies with his W Beauty Sir John Volume 2 range. Yes. So how do you give someone that instant fresh glow using these products?
So today we have volume 2 of the new Sir John products. This will be a quick on-the-go look if you're in a hurry. So I have 3 products. We have the tinted lip oil, then we have the summer illuminating powder, and then we have the illuminator stick. So for these 3, I first applied the stick.
Which is the illuminating stick.
Yes, so I first applied the stick on her cheekbones. It's nice and creamy, so you will obviously use that first. It's actually also very handy to pop in your bag and use throughout the day for touch-up.
Nice, a lady loves convenience.
Yes, and then also the powder you can put over it. It will actually make it last longer. It's nice and velvety soft, and it also, like you can see, it creates a glow.
Yes, I can see around her cheeks, around the nails cheeks there, yeah.
And then lastly, we have the lip tint. It's like actually the trending color for summer 2019. It's the tangerine color. It's also nice and moisturizing, and it's easy to apply.
Okay, all right. So these are quick 3 products that you absolutely cannot go without, especially when you are looking for that consistent glow across the board. And I'm guessing you said that this is for a quick get up and go type of look.
Yes.
Which means if you were going to work, for example.
Yes. And you don't want to look too made up. And it's nice and small. You can pop all of it in your bag and use it throughout the day, or even use it at work to do your makeup quickly.
Okay, you don't want a heavy face, but you still want to look pretty and glowy, like what Anel's looking right now. I think you look absolutely fantastic, Anel Key. That's beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Bernice. You're a rock star. Thank you so much for these easy and vibrant tips for girls on the move, always moving over here, over there, everywhere. It has officially launched online, in-store, and on the Woolies app. And you know what to do, ladies. Go and get it. It is the Woolies difference.
Great start to the day there.
Yeah, man.
Sort it out. But listen, of course, it wouldn't be a Monday. It wouldn't be a normal morning if we didn't find some words of wisdom to inspire you at the start of a brand new day.
Yeah, man, I'm loving the sound of this. I actually kind of live by this.
Yeah.
It's a big thing, because often you find the big things in your life can be a little bit daunting, too much to take on.
Yeah.
Start with something small. So get this. Be active. That's the first step. And start with something small and work your way to bigger things. You just need to get started to get motivated.
Very true.
Take the first step.
Yeah.
Just take that first step, and it's amazing how often everything else can just fall into place.
Yeah. You want to run 5 kilometers? Start by running 500 meters. It's
Or just go and smash 5 kilometers. This is the second time you've mentioned this, so you're quite proud of the fact that you did 5K.
Free run, man. That was a really, really good one. And I said to my best friend, I sent him like my stats. Like, oh man, look at this. Look at the time. Look at the pace. Look at the splits.
And I stopped to check out the view.
Why are you like, why are we Jalamunda? Why are you like rubbing it in my face? I'm like, no, I'm just trying to motivate you.
So this is actually the 3rd time that you've lauded your 5 kilometers.
A very good morning to you. Let's take a look at those news headlines. At least 24 people have succumbed in 3 road accidents in less than 48 hours since the schools closed on Friday. The Minister of Environment, Forestry and Fisheries, Barbara Creasy, has commended the Endangered Wildlife Trust's efforts towards detecting illegally obtained wildlife products, such as rhino horn, as the world's yesterday marked World Rhino Day. In international news, Kenya has become the 3rd country to start routinely inoculating infants against malaria using the world's first vaccine to combat a disease that kills 800 children globally every day. Iran's President Hassan Rouhani has warned that foreign forces are threatening the security of the Persian Gulf. The U.S. is sending more troops to Saudi Arabia following the attack on the Saudi oil facilities. Both nations blame Iran for this act. And finally, think all zebras look the same? Well, think again. A zebra foil with a dark coat and white polka dots has been spotted in Kenya's Masai Mara National Reserve. Photographer Frank Liu was on the search for rhinos recently when he noticed an eye-catching zebra, like about a week old. His Masai guide, Anthony Tira, told him that when he first spotted the foal, he thought it was a zebra that had been captured and painted or marked for purposes of migration before realizing it had a melanin disorder. Zebra stripes are as unique as fingerprints, but this odd coloration is the first recorded observation in the Masai Mara, although similar foals have been seen in Botswana's Okavango Delta Force. So not all rhinos look the same. That's where we leave it for now. The next report will be in just over half an hour. Here's Graham with a look at your sports.
Let's kick it off with our Rugby World Cup. Once defending Rugby World Cup champions New Zealand claimed a vital 23-13 win over South Africa in a blockbuster Pool B clash in Yokohama on Saturday. In the shorter format of the game, the South African Sevens team claimed a narrow 12-10 victory over Fiji to win their first Oktoberfest Sevens title in Munich yesterday. Staying with rugby, Springbok women's coach Stanley Robenheimer said he was disappointed with his team's performance after they went down 29-12 to a tough Spain outfit at the WJ de Vet Stadium in Dispatch on Saturday. And in cricket, South Africa completely outclassed India in the third T20 International, winning the match by 9 wickets to level the series 1-1 in Bangalore last night. And in motorsport, Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel finished ahead of teammate Charles Leclerc and Red Bull's Max Verstappen to end his more than a year-long win drought, walking away with a controversial victory at the Singapore Grand Prix. More on all of those sporting fixtures as we progress. And of course, if you're looking forward to that Rugby World Cup action today, it continues this week, starting with the Pool D clash between Wales and Georgia. Kickoff is at 12:15 this afternoon. But we're going to delve deeper into all of our weekend sport, especially the rugby, in the first hour of the show, so stick around.
Don't fear the flu. Boost your immune system with Effaflu-C Immune Booster by Pharmadynamics. Effective, affordable healthcare.
Yeah, we definitely will be delving deeper into
We will
that.
be. What a weekend of sporting action.
Right?
Man, it was, all round, excitement all round. I mean, I remember waking up on Saturday, and you could feel it. Everywhere you went, everybody was wearing their box T-shirts, really getting into the rain to go watch the game at various places, and it was so much fun to do that.
Yeah, and you can already tell by the haka that was displayed by the All Blacks at the start of that game that it was going to be a challenge laid down like no other. The Rugby World Cup is truly, truly underway.
Yep.
And we saw what the reigning world champions have to deliver. So we'll be delving into the nitty-gritties of that, including maybe just a little snippet of that haka if you did miss it. So we'll catch you on the other side of a break to talk sports.
See the world on your doorstep with SA Tourism. Short left and travel starts week of awesomely affordable packages to destinations around South Africa. From September 23rd to 29th on travelstar.co.za, the country, ocean, cities and hidden gems are all in reach with super discounted flights and accommodation. No visas, no stopovers or foreign exchange. Just glorious South African getaways you can experience this Heritage Month for Travel Week.
I've got a segment straight after this. Okay. Very good morning. Welcome to your global headlines here on the Africa Channel. My name is Graham Richards. We start on the continent where members of the Somali Islamist militant group Al-Shabaab stormed an army base near the capital Mogadishu yesterday, looted it for weapons and then withdrew. The assault began when a suicide bomber rammed his explosive-laden car into the base at Al Salini, killing 23 soldiers and taking military vehicles and weapons from the base, including anti-aircraft guns. A major in the Somali army said the military sent some reinforcements and that they were back in control of the base. Then the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, the UNHCR, has announced that it is strengthening its response and operational presence in South Africa to ensure the safety of migrants and refugees in the country. The agency says at least 1,500 foreign nationals, who include migrants, refugees and asylum seekers, have been forced to flee their homes. Experts on child protection and sexual and gender-based violence will also arrive in the country in the coming days. Then Kenya has become the third country to start routinely inoculating infants against malaria, using the world's first vaccine to combat a disease that kills around 800 children globally every single day. The vaccine targets the deadliest and most common form of malaria parasite in Africa, where children under 5 account for 2/3 of all global deaths from the mosquito-borne illness. The shots, administered in 4 doses, have been shown in clinical trials to significantly reduce cases of malaria and malaria-related complications in young children. Then Iran's President Hassan Rouhani has warned that foreign forces are threatening the security of the Persian Gulf. The US is sending more troops to Saudi Arabia following the attacks on Saudi oil facilities. Both nations blame on Iran. Rouhani said that Iran would present a new Gulf peace initiative at the United Nations in the coming days. This year has seen continuing tension between the US and Iran following President Donald Trump's abandonment of a deal aimed at limiting Iran's nuclear activities in return for the easing of sanctions. Okay. And that's a wrap of your headlines here on the Africa Channel. What about World Rhino Day?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know, when I'm talking this fast, it's because we're about to delve into a plethora of action, sporting action over the weekend. The All Blacks kicking off their World Cup campaign with a real test against the Springboks, and unfortunately not the result that we were hoping for. Garen Landry now joins us to delve into not a shocking kind of first round of the Rugby World Cup. Maybe nothing to be terrified about, but a few irritations.
Indeed.
What did you make of that opening test, man?
Yeah, as you say, not a lot of upsets, a couple of close calls for some of the bigger teams. The Springbok All Blacks game, you know, a tough one, but as you alluded to earlier, it's not all over for the Springboks. They're still in the tournament. It's not like that was a knockout game.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's still confidence, I think, in the Springbok camp that they'll still go fairly far into the tournament, maybe meet the All Blacks again in the final even.
Yeah.
It would sort of be the dream scenario. We only have to beat them once to win the title. They'll have to beat us twice, in fact, to do that. So, yeah, a couple of soft moments. A couple of soft moments, I think, cost the Springboks in the end. A couple of missed tackles, maybe kicking away a little bit more possession than they needed to, and that sort of came back to haunt them. The All Blacks are masters of capitalising on errors made by the teams. They just sort of waited out until that error comes, and they capitalise, you know, 7 points, 14 points, and then it's very difficult to catch up against a team that is pretty good on defence as well.
To score twice is always going to be an uphill battle, yeah.
Got to say though, just after the national anthems, there was something about the way that they produced this new look haka with Captain Kieran Reid and TJ Pernara kind of doubling up on the actor that said to me, we are in it right now. And I don't know if you guys felt the same way after seeing it, but we want to show you at home. Can we just show you
let's have a little look here.
Take a look at the haka.
The fire in the eyes, baby.
So, I mean, you should have actually seen it from the beginning, because Kieran Reid started it off essentially, and then TJ Pernara took it over. But there's like fire in their eyes. It's just crazy.
They were always going to be a wounded beast after the Rugby Championships. We knew that this New Zealand outfit hadn't quite hit their stride yet, so you were expecting them to come out here.
Absolutely, you know, and credit to the Springboks, because after that haka, which was pretty fearsome, the Springboks actually dominated, I think, the first 20 minutes, and then it sort of fell apart after that, and then they finished strongly, actually winning the second half. I think it was 10-6 in the end.
I think both halves we started really well. You mentioned kicking possession away. The box kick's clearly not working, and it seemed to be kind of smack of an old South African kind of way of just falling into that default. Great to see the big boys bashing it up through the middle. That's, again, an old South African way, just not running the ball. Why does it seem to be our default mode?
And
clearly it's not
absolutely,
working.
we seem to run out of patience, so spreading it through the phases, and then before you know it, de Klerk is putting up and under, giving away possession. That's the last thing you really want to do to the All Blacks. Give them the ball. They're masters at sort of going through the phases.
Which is exactly what we needed to be doing when we had possession.
Absolutely. You'd hope they'd learn a little bit from the opposition and sort of copy. There's nothing wrong with that. What worked for the All Blacks should easily work for the Springboks. We've got as good, if not better, pack of forwards than they do, and our backline is coming along, if not a little bit slowly. You see Beauden Barrett. I mean, he's
man of the match,
key to everything the All Blacks do.
Willie Leroux had a shocker. Can we be honest about that?
He did.
He had a shocker of a rugby
Certainly not one of his
World Cup opener. As opposed to Cheslin Colby, who played quite a, I think...
He was the only X factor, kind of.
Spot,
Yeah,
exactly.
the only X factor in the game.
And the smallest chap on the field as well. It just goes to say the heart he has.
Buddy, Sia Khaleesi, we shall never speak an ill word, but just didn't feature.
Yeah, absolutely. He's coming back off a little bit of an injury. It looked like it caught up with him a little bit, the pace of the game. He didn't last as long as we'd hoped he would have. But, he leads, obviously, by example. So, hopefully, going forward, I think he needs more game time. I think he'll play in the next game against Namibia, sort of to get that 80 minutes under his belt. And then he'll be much better for it going on later in the tournament.
Yeah. And then, of course, that moment where Trevor Nyakane came off the field limping, literally being assisted off by staff.
His reaction
he was... What do we know about that?
And actually, breaking news this morning, we just heard that he's out of the tournament. He's been replaced by Thomas du Toit. So he was part of the bigger squad. So he is familiar with the setup. But a massive blow for Nyakane. He's been in fantastic form for the Bulls in the Super Rugby and for the Springboks in the Rugby Championship. So that'll be a massive blow. He's obviously struggling with a bit of a leg injury. He did hurt it in the warm-up match against Japan. So it finally, again, caught up with him, and he's on the plane back home.
And it's the worst when you can see it on a player's face, man. So just quickly flying through some of the other results over the weekend. Japan looked pretty strong, a bit of a shaky start, but looked pretty strong in there as hosts opening the account.
Yeah, you always want the host team to, perform well. It's sort of the first World Cup where the host team isn't obviously expected to contend for the title, but they got the tournament off to a great win against Russia. And then some of the other big games, the France-Argentina was a humdinger. A lot of Argentinian fans complaining about the referee. Their tournament is sort of in the balance now because they've still got to now actually beat England to progress, it looks like. And then Australia had a bit of a tough first half against Fiji, who have got an amazing backline. Obviously not the sort of
look very Sevens-esque in the way that they're playing.
Absolutely. It was great to see them scoring some big players scoring some great tries.
Big tries,
and then Ireland, I think, is the key one for us. It looks like they're going to be tops of their group, which means they'll play the runners-up in our group, which looks like it's going to be South Africa. They were way too strong for Scotland. I think Scotland a little bit in trouble because they've sort of now got to beat Samoa and Japan in order to secure that runner-up spot and make the playoffs.
Yep. England also doing the job there over Tonga, 35-3. You can see those results there. But, oh, man, I think we were all delighted at the fact that the wait is over, the Rugby World Cup is underway, and the rugby action we saw truly was worth the wait.
Absolutely.
Oh, man, but there's so much more to talk about as well when it comes to the sport. Let us know which were your favourite highlights from the past weekend and some of the results that you really enjoyed seeing. Karen, thank you very much, man.
Thanks very much, guys.
Well, all that action for the Rugby World Cup. Let us know your favorite highlights on Expresso Morning Show SABC3. And while you're there, check out our Good Morning post this morning where we're asking you if a tourist walked up to you and asked you what's your favorite thing, that one thing that is your favorite thing about South Africa, what would it be? How would you sell our beautiful country to them? Let us know. We'll be back after the break.
Okay.
I'm Bert Bosch, I'm a musician and actor, and I live in Johannesburg. Come find your smooth fame and fortune with me, Bauer, on Tropica Island of Treasure, Curacao. All you need to do, you buy a Tropica, you follow the entry details on the back of the bottle, you make a video, you upload it to Twitter or Facebook or Instagram with the hashtag TIOT9 and tell me why you want to be on my team, and then you could be winning fame and fortune with me on Tropica Island of Treasure, Curacao.
To hide your beautiful face. You wanna be different. different. Oh, we all just the same. Even though it didn't work out, everything will be okay. This is not the end. I wish you could see it from my point of view. Just open your eyes and you will know the truth. No one could ever be compared to you. So come close, take so gotta know you're so beautiful. 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 Yeah. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. Beautiful. That is what you are. You're so phenomenal. I gotta tell you. You're special. You with a price on you. You're priceless. The Son of God gave His life for you. Forgiveness. His image in your father made His likeness. And in return, you should just appreciate His greatness. So phenomenal. A solid 10 is what I'm hoping that you told yourself. Highlight and control B, that's how you bold yourself. Nobody'll have you like you, so just hold yourself. Cause you were more than enough. Why you weren't? Take it from Talita and me, your hot current. And if life is moving too fast, let me help you press pause. Pay attention to this line so you understand the course. Come on.
Nap time just got extra cuddly. Get a free cuddle pillow when you buy 2 bags of Hill's pet food. Where dreams are made.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso live right here on SABC3. It's the start of a brand new week, and this is a time for us to start thinking about those many moments in life when we all need to make a good impression. And, you know, sometimes we need a few tips to be able to get us through these very tricky situations. And we've seen the Presenter Search contestants. They've, had their time to shine with presenting. But you can also have a time, or your time to shine in your everyday life with Orbit Gum. Now, we've got you covered if you're wondering about how to write the perfect CV. Then we've got the owner of Persona Staff Recruitment, Angeline Hitchcock, rather. She's right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show to help you submit the CV that will land you your dream job. I love that. Angeline, good morning.
Good morning.
It's so good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
With everyone running around and trying to figure out their next career move, or really just trying to get into the job space, how much time would you say on average a prospective employer will spend looking at someone's CV when they get it?
The average time a recruiter or a prospective employer using by reviewing a CV is approximately 6 seconds. 6 seconds.
Wow.
I know it sounds like so unreal after you spend so many hours, days preparing that CV.
Yeah.
But you only have 6 seconds, so make it count.
So, of course, there is a hotly contested debate around whether a CV should include a job applicant's picture or not. What's the general rule around this? Because I'm seeing people get creative these days.
Yeah. My opinion is there's no right or wrong. But if you only have 6 seconds to impress someone, you don't want to distract him. So rather let a recruiter focus on your skills and qualifications and not your looks.
Even if you think you're so gorgeous that in 6 seconds...
But sometimes they do ask for your picture,
Yeah.
and if you include it, keep it like a professional headshot, no selfies, or be aware of those backgrounds. It's not something weird or funny.
Or out at the pub behind you. We know that there's a big issue of unemployment at the moment, and it's a real big problem. And so sometimes we've seen people even lie on their CV to try and put themselves at an advantage. What happens if you're caught lying on your CV?
First of all, please never, never, never lie on your CV. By putting in false information on your CV is considered as fraud. Yes, it can. It can even end a job seeker for jail time for up to 5 years. So, and it always comes out. So, it's not worth it.
You will always get caught out.
You will caught out.
Now, unemployment, again, big thing. And sometimes people, for various reasons, sometimes that you're unemployed and aren't able to find a job. Or, let's say, for example, you went on maternity leave, so you've been out of work for quite some time. How do you address and communicate your long periods of unemployment on a CV? So if you had a 1-year break or a 2-year break, how do you address that? How do you explain it?
I think the important thing is to know that the CV word comes from the Latin word curriculum vitae. That means course of life, or simply your life story. So be real about it. Include everything, never leave gaps. Even explain the times when you was unemployed, and rather focus on the value it added to your life and what you learned during that period.
And what are some of the other tips that you've got? Some of your hot tips that you always give to people for writing the perfect CV?
Validate yourself. You are unique with your unique life story, and you are the only person that can represent you.
Validate yourself, validate your worth, add a section with your career highlights, sell yourself. This is your platform to do that.
Yeah. It's you.
Angeline, thank you so much. You're a rock star. Can't wait to have you here again one day.
Thanks a lot.
You rock. Well, step into the limelight and put your best foot forward. It's your time to shine with Orbit Gum. And remember to watch Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition, every single Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on SABC3, where this week we will see the contestants taken out of their comfort zones as they take on a challenge of active presenting.
It's your time to shine with Presenter Search on 3 and Orbit Gum.
Well, it's time for us right now to give credit where credit is due. We've got Heritage Day coming up, and often when we get to times like Heritage Day, or even just a great weekend with friends and family, and we get around the braai, we disregard the unsung hero, the side salad.
That's right.
Yeah, and right now we're about to give it a makeover of epic proportions, especially with Heritage Day just a day away. So think crispy bacon, roasted Brussels sprouts loaded with flavors, there's protein, and of course, the goodness of Be Well Pure canola oil. And you can expect this side dish to become the main feature at your braai lunch or dinner. Of course, it's going to be picture perfect, as you can see over there. And Teresa's here to help us put it all together. Great to have you. Good morning.
Thank you very much.
You have a good weekend.
I did. Very chilled, yes.
All right. So this is something, I mean, whenever it comes to Brussels sprouts these days at home, we just steam them. And that kind of gives us that nice fresh crunchiness, and you get the best flavor out of it. But a lot of people don't like Brussels sprouts.
No, people have a bit of a love-hate thing going with Brussels sprouts, and there are different ways to prepare them, and we're going to be showing you a different way today.
Let's get started then.
All right, so I'm going to pop some canola oil in the pan. And
so Be Well canola oil is what we're using as our frying oil over there.
That's
and of course it has a delicious buttery taste that you can expect, while the grapeseed oil also has a very high smoking point. We're going to be incorporating that into the recipe as well.
That's right. So I've added some garlic. I'm going to add a bit of salt and pepper, and then our Brussels sprouts.
All right, so in.
So we're going to pop them in there, and we're just going to fry them all for about 1 or 2 minutes, just to infuse that garlic flavor, get them going.
beautiful stuff. And if you're thinking from a health point of view while you're preparing your food, Be Well canola oil is the only cooking oil carrying the Cancer Smart Choice seal due to its high ratio of omega-6s and omega-3 fatty acids as well. And the grapeseed oil that we're about to use has a very high smoking point, so it makes it perfect for higher temperature use, as you can see we have in our pan there.
You can see the colors are coming out.
Yeah, that's usually when it says to me, like, it's right, it's perfect. It's reached peak
Don't
three.
overdo it.
Good stuff.
And it's smelling fantastic. So that's just kind of to get it going. So I'm going to pop it into a roasting pan.
Okay. So you're not going to fully cook it in there. It's just to literally, as you said, get it going. So SMS the keyword Be Well to 33728 and we'll send you a link to the recipe as well as the ingredients list so that you can make this beautiful side salad. But as I said earlier on, it'll be the main feature at your gathering with your friends. And of course, we've got lots and lots of weekends of Rugby World Cup action coming up.
Yes.
So you might need a few extra recipes to spruce up your braai. This is a perfect
This is
one.
a great one. So we're using 2 cooking methods. We're now going to pop it in the oven and roast it for about 15 minutes. And it's going to go crispy and it's going to be a little bit charred. So it'll be lovely. Just get all these bits out.
Good. Don't waste any.
No, I'm going to
Worked
get
so
them all.
hard to... Shall I just turn that off for you?
Well, what we're going to do is actually cook the bacon in the same
Oh, in there as well.
pan.
Oh, okay,
So I'm gonna
okay.
just pop
Because you've already got a bit of
out.
that garlic flavoring
Yes. So that'll
on the
go
skillet pan.
into the oven. And then if you're not a big fan of Brussels sprouts, there are alternatives.
Yeah.
So green beans work really well,
Ooh.
or even fresh peas.
Ah.
Garlic, it tastes delicious. So that is an
Edamames?
option. Yeah, you could try that.
Okay. Some edamame
Experiment.
beans.
Thank you.
There's the bacon. So you've just used the grapeseed oil
This is
now.
the grapeseed oil, yeah. So we're going to pop our bacon in.
Oh, it is smelling incredible in this kitchen right now. I can
Great
tell you that
flavor
for sure.
combo. And then I'm going to add some spices, some paprika, some cayenne pepper, and some mixed herbs.
Well, that's the first. I've never ever used or seen spices being used with bacon. You usually just throw it into the pan and let
that's
the
it.
fat do its work.
That's right.
That's quite nice.
So crisp it up. You'll see some of the fat is rendering there.
Oh,
and then
wow.
it's getting ready.
And that's why people are gonna love this. You might want to cook this in double the portion size because they'll be dishing up more of this than anything else.
That's right.
Shoo.
So we've got a ready-made one over here.
Yes.
If you don't want to use bacon, pepperoni works really well. Chicken bacon, macon.
Okay.
Chorizo would be delicious as well.
good.
It all works.
Fantastic. Now that you've
So
got it all
now
together here,
we can plate up. Yes.
All right. So I'm
we're
assuming
going
that-
to pop some Brussels sprouts on there.
that's our base.
Yes.
Okay.
On there.
So let's get it nice and evenly distributed. So how long would you have it in the oven for?
15 minutes.
15
do the
minutes to
trick,
get
yeah.
that kind
Just
of
keep
look.
an eye on it. When it's charred and crispy, then you're
Yeah.
good to go.
Okay.
Some bacon.
All right.
Put some on. Right, I'm going to put some lemon zest for a bit of freshness.
All right.
You can also squeeze some fresh lemon juice over, which is really delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Get that on there.
So you can SMS the keyword Be Well to 33728. We'll send you a link to the recipe as well as the ingredients list. And you can try it out at home and let us know how yours turns out and what you think of
All
it.
right, some parsley, some micro herbs,
Microgreens, super healthy for you.
parmesan.
Look
I
at
mean,
that.
how amazing is this? And then what you could also do is take a little bit of cream cheese and pipe it around the side.
Oh,
and it just
wow.
adds an extra flavor
Just
element there.
Lovely. Lovely.
Beautiful, hey?
Okay.
I mean,
So
that's...
SMS the keyword Be Well to 33728. Teresa, that's amazing. Let's just present that to
Yay.
you. And that is as easy
I mean, that
as
could
it
be the
is.
star of the show.
Ah,
Don't you think?
wonderful stuff. Happy braaiing and happy side salad making too.
Happy side salad making. I don't know if that's a real thing, but it smells amazing. It looks amazing. It's popping, and it's a nice, beautiful prelude to this gorgeous, unbelievably talented young thing. She is the main dish. She is Talita. Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm really excited to be here this morning. So yeah.
We've loved you for a long time. We've watched you, and I don't want to sound like all condescending. We've watched you literally grow up on our show. How are things going? Because we've seen you, obviously you have this unbelievable talent. Where are you in the world? How's the career going?
Well, I'm really busy at the moment, so I have a lot of gigs going on. And yeah, it's all about just enjoying myself, and I love what I'm doing. So, yeah.
And we love hearing you as well. Cannot wait to hear that voice again. Of course, part of of the RX Radio. They work with the Red Cross Children's Hospital, doing amazing things. Interviewed the president on Children's Day. Beautiful stuff on Youth Day. But of course, you're going to be a part of their all-star lineup as well. So we'll chat to them. We're going to see you do what you do, but you've earned a coffee getting up this early.
Yes.
So, Sis Princess, morning, sweet
Morning.
thing. Please, a coffee for our star of the show. You can catch a performance from this incredible young artist. Chevy is also here to lay down some bars, so stick around. We'll see you in just a moment.
Great Arabica beans, McAfee, great coffee, simple. See you after the break. Who's got what it takes to shine on Expresso? Your favorite breakfast show is searching for new presenters, and it's your time to shine with Orbit Gum.
Own it with Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition, Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3.
In thrilling weekly challenges, who will stand, who will stumble, and who will win the right to bring you the best of breakfast television. It's your time to shine with Presenter Search on 3 and Orbit Gum.
But we all just the same. Even though it didn't work out, everything will be okay. This is not the end. I wish you could see it from my point of view. Just open your eyes and you will know the truth. No one could ever be compared to you. So come close, let go, let it know. You're so beautiful. 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 I wish you could see it from my point of view. Open your eyes and you will know the truth. No one could ever be compared to you. So come close, let go. You gotta know you're so beautiful. 1, 2. You're so beautiful. That's what you are. You just don't know. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. Come on. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. Beautiful. That is what you are, yeah, you're so phenomenal. I thought I'd tell you just in case you didn't know. You don't know the brightest stars, nothing short of special. No one could put a price on you, you're priceless. The son of God gave his life for you. Forgiveness, fitting image of your father, made in his likeness. And in return, you should just appreciate his greatness. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, so behold yourself. The solid 10 is what I'm hoping that you told yourself. Highlight and control B, that's how you bold yourself. Nobody'll have you like you, so just hold yourself. Cause you were more than.
Every day, brave young kids around our country fight their own private battle against cancer. To show them that other kids and families have got their back, a portion of the proceeds from every NutriKids product sold will go to secure the next Clover NutriKids Choc Home in Port Elizabeth. A support base where children undergoing treatment and their families are accommodated, supported and given a fighting chance against cancer.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It's a Monday morning. We're live, large and in charge on your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on SABC3. Thanks for joining us at the start of a brand new day. Now, the kids and reporters of RX Radio, Kids Radio, a radio station that's run by and for children from the Red Cross War Memorial Children's Hospital, came up with the idea to organize a fundraising event for the station in the form of a youth music festival, which will be held on Saturday, the 28th of September. That's this coming weekend at the hospital's field. And joining us on Expresso this morning to share share more about it all and how it all came together is the project officer, Lwazi Folsak, along with two of their young reporters, Sadiq Daniels and Amira Pinar. A very good morning to all of you. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. It's great. I've been on your radio station and now you're on the show that I'm part of. That's amazing to have you here.
Thank you so much.
And Lwazi, what an exciting time as well. For the very first time, the RX Kids Radio Youth Music Festival. I mean, take us back to where this idea was formed and how it all came about.
So this idea came from the kids themselves. They came up to the team and they told us that they want to raise funds for RX Radio. They feel like it's such a great initiative. It's had such a great impact on their lives. So they wanted to pull together the youth of Cape Town to fundraise for the station and also for this to be a platform for young up-and-coming artists.
Yeah, and I mean, as I'm sure you can all attest, putting together a music festival is no easy task at all. I mean, first you've got to decide who you're going to have on the lineup and choose the artists, right? So, Sadiq, how did you guys go about choosing the artists that are going to perform?
We look at the youth, how they use, how are they famous. We look at that. And we just contact to them. Some of them we knew, like Yanga, she came to the station, we interviewed her, so we had contact with her.
That's amazing. And of course, I'm sure they were all willing, because I think anybody who's been on RX Kids Radio knows exactly, the cause behind it, the impact that it has on the young children's lives at the hospital. And so being part of something like this is really, really special. And the amazing part of it, Amira, is that the proceeds from the concert itself are all going back into the radio station to help, continue the good work that you're doing there. Tell me about how it's going to help.
So the money that will be coming in will help us, how can I say, help us so that we can continue doing what we're doing in the following few years, like the equipment that we need, like traveling for the kids that needs to come to the hospital in order for us to do our shows, and so that we can train more kids from the hospital.
Yeah, because I mean, as I'm sure both of you being in front of the mic can attest to, it's given you an enormous amount of confidence. It really fills the hospital itself with just such an air of beautiful energy that everyone enjoys and thrives off of as well. So, Lwazi, what can people expect from the festival?
Well, people of Cape Town, you can expect a fun-filled day, family-friendly. There will be entertainment for the kids. There will be, of course, great music from the artists. We've got the likes of Yanga. We've got SA Idols winner 2018. We've got Havoc Fam that's going to be there as well as a lot of up-and-coming artists. We've got Talita, we've got Cuden, Jared Ricketts. So it's just going to be an awesome day and just filled with fun.
Wow, did I see Majosi there?
Majosi is also going to be there.
That's
one of our headliners. So.
Wow. I mean, you guys are pulling out all of
We're very, very excited. And we really appreciate the artists that are supporting us. And we just asking people to come through, support, buy tickets at youthmusicfestival.co.za. Tickets are going for $190, and even if you cannot make it on the day, you can donate tickets to children that can't afford.
Oh, good.
So you can just contact RX Radio on our website for that info.
Excellent. So is this something that we're going to be seeing continuing over the years to come, guys?
Hopefully.
Hopefully,
Yeah, well, let's make it a success the first time round. And thank you very much for joining us on this Monday morning, really giving us a spirit of inspiration. And it sounds like it's going to be such fun, like you said, for the entire family. So if you're in Cape Town this Saturday, the 28th of September, and you'd like to show your support for RX Kids Radio while enjoying an entertaining lineup of musicians, you've seen some of them on those beautiful posters, then make sure that you don't miss the RX Kids Radio Youth Music Festival taking place from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Red Cross War Memorial Children's Hospital Field. And tickets go for 190 Rand, and all proceeds will be going to RX Kids Radio. Tickets are available, as you heard from Lwazi, from youthmusicfestival.co.za. Right now, let's give you a little bit of a teaser of what you can expect.
Yeah, as if you needed another reason to show your support. I'm sorry, until you've been on RX Radio, you haven't made it. Okay, you haven't made it. I mean, Cyril Ramaphosa, our president, was on RX Radio. But we're going to give you one more reason to get down and check out that incredible lineup with a young lady who has an unbelievable talent, but also this incredible reserve of strength. She's out there doing it for herself, and she's about to release a brand new single that you're going to get a taste of right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Expect a little surprise feature halfway through this performance. It's Talita with You're So Beautiful.
No need to hide your beautiful face. Wanna to be different. But we all just the same. Even though it didn't work out, everything will be okay. This is not the end. I wish you could see it from my point of view. Just open your eyes and you will know the truth. No one could ever be compared to you. So come close, let go. You gotta know you're so beautiful. 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 I wish you could see it from my point of view. Just open your eyes and you will know the truth. No one could ever be compared to you. So come close, let go. You gotta know you're so beautiful. 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 You're so beautiful.
That is what you are, you're just so phenomenal. I thought I'd tell you, just in case you didn't know. You're one of the brightest stars, nothing short of special. No one could put a price on you, you're priceless. The son of God gave his life for you. Forgiveness, spitting image of your father, made in his likeness. And in return, you should just appreciate his greatness. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, so behold yourself. A solid 10 is what I'm hoping that you told yourself. Highlight and control me, that's how you bold yourself. Nobody'll have you like you, so just hold yourself. Cause you were more than enough. Why you weren't? Take it from Talita to me, your hot current. And if life is moving too fast, let me help you press pause. Pay attention to this line so you understand your pause. Come on.
You're so beautiful.
Come on.
You're so beautiful.
Sing it, girl.
You're so beautiful.
Come on, sing it now.
You're so beautiful.
You're so beautiful. Hey.
You're so beautiful.
You're so beautiful. Come on.
You're so beautiful.
You're so beautiful.
You're so beautiful.
You're so beautiful. Tell me what it is.
I wish you could see it from my point of view.
Just what?
Just open your eyes and you will know the truth. No one could ever be compared to you. So come close, let go. You gotta know you're beautiful.
Wow. Oh man, Chevy. Love you, girl.
Thank you so much.
The way you look at her and you're like, I feel it, I believe it. Do you feel beautiful, ladies?
Well, obviously
Yes.
we have to.
We have
I
to.
love it. It feels like you're singing to yourself. It feels like you're singing to other young women. It is a really, really cool song. It's going to be so awesome. It's so cool to see you just take that level up. It really, really is so impressive. You can see, of course, these two incredible performers at the Red Cross RX Radio Children's Music Festival. It's going to be happening over the weekend, 28th of September at the Red Cross Children's Hospital Open Field. Youthmusicfestival.co.za is where you can get the tickets. Get on it right now. We'll have all of those details online. But can we get one more round of applause, please, for Chevy and Talita?
Hi, my name is Simphiwe Ngema and I play Pindile Shezi on Isidingo. And you could be joining me on Tropica Island of Treasure. Buy Tropica and follow the instructions on the bottle. Take a video of yourself and tell us why you would be my ideal partner. Then upload it on all the social media platforms, your Twitter, your Instagram and your Facebook using the hashtag TIOT9. Come find your smooth fame and fortune on Tropica Island of Treasure carousel.
birthday to you. Okay, come on. This tune sets you up. Welcome back to it. It is your Feel Good Breakfast show. This tune means it's time for us to celebrate your birthdays.
So hopefully you have sent through your birthday messages this morning. We'll try to get through as many of them as we possibly can. But of course, you can email those dedications to birthdays@cordova.co.za. But let's dive right in. A very happy birthday to Lindsay. May God bless you abundantly, my child. I love you so much. That's coming from your mom. And we're certainly echoing that, Lindsay. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Then a happy third birthday to our beautiful princess, Zala. You bring so much peace, joy, and love to our lives. We love you always. That's from your mom, your dad, Auntie Shimon, Zetha, Grandma Nettie, and Grandpa Rian. Happy birthday, young'un.
Happy birthday. How sweet. And then it says here, happy birthday to our little champ, Kira. May God's light continue to shine on you. All the best for your competition. Yes, there's a competition coming up. And it says all the best for your competition in Cape Town. Love from your Glammy and Opie. And here's another one. Says, I wish my beautiful granddaughter, Kiefer Rose, a happy 11th birthday. Have a great day, my peanut. I love you always. This one is from Ma, Mommy, and family. Happy birthday.
Oh, then happy birthday, Mum, Patty. May you have a wonderful and blessed day. We love you and appreciate you. And that's from Aria Blum. And then a happy 10th birthday, that's a big one, to our Princess Sky. As young as you are, you teach us every day about unconditional love and how only by God's grace and mercy you have come this far. May God bless you with many more prosperous years to come. Love you always from Mom, Lisa, Darren, the Ford family, Pa Jeff, and the Apples family. Happy birthday.
Here's another one. This one actually goes out to one of our digital guys, one of our social media team members here on Expresso and the other shows. It says, wishing you a very happy birthday today. It's all downhill from here. This is for Kanyisa Pokike. Good luck from your much older colleagues in the digital team.
Oh, that's cool, man.
300 Diamond up-and-coming hip-hop artist as well. Fantastic. Happy birthday. And happy birthday to my son. This one says, my son, Tabang Makwatana. Well wishes from your mother, Fulufelo, your father, Simaga, and your uncle, Oscar Lufuno and Dumelo.
Happy birthday. Then Mbali has finally turned 24 years old. It's been a waited a whole year. Waited a whole year to turn 24. Your day be as beautiful and bright as our lovely South African heritage. Oh, that's cool. Happy birthday to you, Angel. May there be more grace and blessings upon you. And then a happy 60th birthday to my mother-in-law, Murida Sikorth. Happy birthday. May the good Lord keep showering you with his blessings. And that's from Ayesha. Happy birthday.
Let's get through the rest of them. It says here, I wish Bradwin Salon a big happy 7th birthday. Enjoy your day. We've got so much love for you. This is from Mummy, Daddy, Tammy Ann, and Braden. Happy birthday, Bradwin Salon. And here's our final one. Happy birthday, Annabelle Kutzia, on your 8th birthday. May God bless you abundantly on this beautiful day, little princess. May you be spoiled with many blessings on this day. Love from Cavallo.
Happy birthday to Alial. You're all absolutely beautiful. I hope you're feeling quite special. And please send those messages, get them through. Even if we can't mention you, we'll try and put you, at least have your name on screen.
And send us videos, guys. Where are the videos? WhatsApp us those videos.
Sing to yourself. You have an opportunity. Get your 15 minutes, your 15 seconds. We'd love you to send us a birthday message. You can even WhatsApp them to 071 640 6551.
Well, here's a surprise if it's your birthday today. Chevy's got a little something.
Break it down, girl.
Take it away.
Wait.
It's her birthday.
It's your birthday,
Chevy. Well, she is a little something. She is a little something. The gift that keeps on giving on her own birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday. Get those birthday wishes through to us. Birthdays at Cordova.tv. Let's check out what's happening in the world with the news.
Well, in your national news headlines at the top of the hour, at least 24 people have succumbed in 3 road accidents in less than 48 hours since the schools closed on Friday. 11 people died in a car crash outside Polokwane in Limpopo yesterday morning when 2 vehicles were involved in a head-on collision. 9 people lost their lives in Cape Town in the early hours of Saturday morning when a vehicle overturned in Steenberg, and 4 people were killed in a collision on the N4 near Middelburg in Mpumalanga on Friday night. In other news nationally, the Minister of Environment, Forestry and Fisheries, Barbara Creasy, has condemned the commended the Endangered Wildlife Trust's efforts towards detecting illegally obtained wildlife products such as rhino horn, as the world yesterday marked World Rhino Day. Now, more than 300 rhinos were poached in the country in the first half of 2019, a significant decline when compared to a peak of 1,200 that were killed 5 years ago. South Africa has continued to battle against organized crime syndicates that are targeting its national and private parks as demand for rhino horn increases in Asia. Taking a look at international headlines, Kenya has become the third country to start routinely inoculating infants against malaria using the world's first vaccine to combat the disease that kills 800 children globally every day. Now, the vaccine targets the deadliest and most common form of malaria parasite in Africa, where children under 5 account for 2/3 of all global deaths from the mosquito-borne illness. The shots, administered in 4 doses, have been shown in clinical trials to significantly reduce cases of malaria and malaria-related complications in young children. Now, Iran's President Hassan Rouhani has warned that foreign forces are threatening the security of the Persian Gulf. The United States is sending more troops to Saudi Arabia following the attack on Saudi oil facilities both nations blame on Iran. Now, Rouhani also said Iran would present a new Gulf Peace Initiative at the United Nations in the coming days. And this year has seen continuing tension between the United States and Iran following President Trump's abandonment of a deal aimed at limiting Iran's nuclear activities in return for its easing of sanctions. And finally, with World Rhino Day celebrated yesterday, a 5-week-old rhino calf at Royal Burgers Zoo in the Netherlands has shown its mettle in true fashion. The male calf, born on August 15th, showed true bravery during his first encounter with a giraffe and antelope when he was introduced to them for the very first time. Now, zookeeper Bas Lukener said the dapper and audacious little rhino showed no fear at all during his first encounters with giraffes and antelopes. He and his mother have joined 5 other rhinos, 1 adult male, 3 adult females and 3 youngsters who live at the zoo. Since 2002, 10 square-lipped rhinos have been born at Royal Burgers Zoo. And that's it for the headlines at the top of the hour. We'll have another update for you on the half-an-hour mark. But right now, let's take a look at those headlines from the sporting world.
Well, after months of waiting, it is here. The Rugby World Cup kicked off in fine style, obviously, and defending Rugby World Cup champions New Zealand kicked off their campaign, claiming a vital 23-13 win over South Africa in what was a blockbuster Pool B clash in Yokohama on Saturday. Springbok fly half Andre Pollard opened the scoring with an early penalty before the All Blacks started their dominance. Pollard's counterpart, Richie Mo'unga, drawing New Zealand a level before they scored 2 quick tries, one by George Bridge and the other by Scott Barrett, to secure the win. The All Blacks have now won their 15th straight World Cup win. They've never lost a pool game in any World Cup. Now look to continue in this way as they bid for a 3rd consecutive title. Then on to the shorter format, the South African Sevens team claimed a narrow 12-10 victory over Fiji to win their first ever Oktoberfest Sevens title in Munich yesterday. Blitzboks outplayed New Zealand, England and Australia in a very tough pool to top it on day 1. Then day 2 saw team captain Saviwe Soizvapi scoring a try in the dying seconds of the final to level the score 10-all. Develthuman then converting to win the match and a well-deserved first Oktoberfest Sevens title. Same with rugby, Springbok women's coach Stanley Robenheimer said he was disappointed with his team's performance. That was after they went down 29-12 to a tough Spanish side at the WJ de Vet Stadium in Dispatch on Saturday. Spain dominating with 2 tries over South Africa's 1. Coach Robenheimer, however, added that there were some positives they could take from the encounter. The Bok women have another 2 international tests where they'll face off against Scotland in the upcoming weeks. Then on to cricket. South Africa certainly outclassed India in the 3rd T20 International, winning the match by 9 wickets to level the series 1-all in Bangalore last night. India, who elected to bat first, saw a middle order collapse and were restricted to 134 for 9 in their 20 overs. Proteas skipper Quinton de Kock in fine form, leading from the front, reaching 79, not out from his 52 deliveries. And South Africa walked away with the win and leveled the series in the process. Then finally on to motorsports. Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel finished ahead of teammate Charles Leclerc and Red Bull's Max Verstappen to end his more than a year-long win drought as he walked away with a controversial victory at the Singapore Grand Prix. 4-time world champion Vettel followed team orders to leapfrog past a furious Leclerc to earn a much-needed victory. The reigning world champion and current championship leader Lewis Hamilton failed to make the podium this time, with his teammate finishing 4th and 5th in the race. And of course, if you're looking forward to more World Cup action, more rugby on the way, plethora. In fact, we start with Pool D. Their clash, Wales up against Georgia, kicking off at 15 minutes past 12 this afternoon. That's where we leave our sport for now. We'll delve a little deeper into some of those highlights with Garen Lamley in just a moment.
Thanks for that, G-Man. Let's take a first look at your roads this morning. We start off in KwaZulu-Natal, out in Durban, where there is protest action on the N2 highway between the Spaghetti Junction and the M7 highway exit. Delays are expected in both directions, so please do avoid the area and use an alternative route this morning. In Gauteng, out in Midrand on the N1 southbound, there is obstruction after Allendale Road, obstructing the right lane, so please keep a lookout for this. And off to the train lines, there is an extensive vandalism to infrastructure at Maitland, resulting in an extended travel time of approximately 60 minutes. Inbound and outbound Monte Vista trains will be cancelled. And that's where we leave it for now. The next report will be in just over half an hour.
So Smuda, all of this for dollar low monthly fees.
Money, money.
And now we take a look at those temperatures across the country, starting off in Polokwane, a low of 14, reaching a high of 32 degrees today. If you're out in Mbombela, 12, that's your start with a high of 18. Pretoria, 15, reaching a maximum of 29 degrees. Johannesburg, 13, your low, reaching a high of 29. With sunny Mahikeng coming through, a low of 4, reaching a high of 16. Klerksdorp, 10, reaching a max of 34 degrees. With Kimberley at 2, your start, peaking at 23 degrees. Bloemfontein, 5, your low, reaching a high of 27 degrees. With Richards Bay rainy today, 15, reaching that max of 25 degrees. Pietermaritzburg, 8, reaching a max of 25 degrees. With Durban, South Africa's playground, at 14 and 21. If you're out in Mthatha, 4, that's your low, reaching a high of 16. With East London at 9, reaching a high of 15 degrees. Craddock, 0, that's your start, peaking at 17 degrees. Port Elizabeth, the friendly city, 12, reaching a high of 18 degrees. George, 8, your low, peaking at 14. With the lowest temperatures in the country, that's Sutherland today, -2, that's your low, reaching highs of 15 degrees. Cape Town starting off at 14 and climbing up to 18 degrees. With Worcester at 6, reaching a high of 22 degrees. If you're out in Springbok, at 6 and 23 for you today. And lastly, Uppington, your temperatures 10, your low, reaching that high of 24 degrees. That's where we leave it for now. No matter the weather, make it a feel-good type of day.
So Garen and I are going to be chatting a bit more about the plethora of weekend sporting action. Of course, our Proteas and Springbok Sevens guys both dominating this weekend and doing it in fine style. Not so much for our Springbok ladies, but we'll delve a little deeper into all of that in just a moment.
Bon boy.
Discover the new language of travel. Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences, rewards reimagined.
Get an insurance quote and stand a chance to win one of 6 Samsung S10 smartphones. Simply SMS the keyword business to 31492 for a call back and quote, and you could be a winner.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso from the cricket pitch to the rugby field. This weekend was filled with some incredible South African dominance. In fact, in all sporting codes, we, of course, have our sports editor, Garen Lamley, now joining us to delve a little bit deeper. Mainly rugby, that's our vibe this weekend, obviously, with the start of the Rugby World Cup. But let's focus on another shining light and a bit of a turnaround for the Proteas up against India. Very strong outfit in the shortest format of the game, but winning by 9 wickets. Did we expect to see that level of dominance in Bangalore?
I was quite surprised, to be honest, but it made a nice change from the rugby. You know, nobody likes to see a best-of-2 series after the first match was rained out. So, you know, we were 1-0 down going into that final match. Quinton de Kock leading by example, the captain of the Proteas T20 side. He's had a great 2 matches, half centuries in both. You know, deserved man of the series and comprehensive victory by 9 wickets, which obviously now puts the Cricket World Cup a little bit like in the back burner. So we're onwards and upwards towards the Test series.
How much did we need this? As people who talk about cricket, how much did we need to just put the World Cup behind us?
Yeah, I think absolutely. You know, that wasn't a great performance at all. We've come on a couple of months now. We're in India for a very important Test match series coming up now. I think once that's over and done with new captains, new management team, that's all very much change at the Proteas, and then obviously leading into that massive England series back in South Africa towards the end of the year.
Yeah, we need to start creating a culture of winning, but we also need the balance in the team to be there. Is the balance there represented? Beautiful bowling attack. He's so amazing at the death. He seems to be one player, just his mind is in the right place. Bjorn Hendricks, standout player of the match, in fact.
Absolutely. You know, he set up the Proteas batting lineup by taking 2 for 14, I think, in his bowling spell, restricting in India, giving South Africa a realistic chance to chase that total down. So, you know, he's come on in leaps and bounds. So, yeah, as you say, Kagiso Rabada, a fantastic bowler. He's going to sort of carry the flame for South Africa going forward.
Spin bowlers, Bjorn Fortuin, what do we make of this young man? We've seen him in the local, the Mzansi Super League, doing amazing things with the bat as well. He's a very well-rounded player. Is he the incumbent?
He could well be. You know, I think great things are obviously expected of him. They've entrusted him with that role in India. He's a baptism of fire, obviously playing on the subcontinent against an Indian team who are well known for their batting against spin bowlers. So he was going to be exposed. That was going to be the place. But he came through, I think, with flying colours. And I think massive things are obviously expected of him going forward.
So fantastic 9-wicket win for the Proteas. Great first outing for Quinton de Kock back in the captain's role in the shortest format. Let's move on to another very successful weekend, Oktoberfest. It just sounds awesome. That is awesome when we're winning. I'm just wondering, we were joking about this off air a second ago, when you've got just about all the top dogs in one pool, and kudos to our 7 teams, the Blitzboks, for making it through a really, really tough draw. New Zealand, England and Australia to top our pool. That's the way you want to start a new season.
Absolutely. You know, you couldn't have asked for much more than that. The Oktoberfest taking place in September, which was strange in itself.
Close enough, buddy, close enough, yeah.
But, you know, fantastic by Neil Powell's men. You know, they're obviously building towards the World Series, and then thereafter the Olympics, where they took the bronze in Rio 3 years ago. So they'll be looking to go 2 steps better, take gold there. But, you know, you can only beat who's in front of you, and they did just that. You know, New Zealand, as you said, England, Australia, and then beating Fiji in the final, which was a fantastic, you know, they've been our nemesis in the 7-man format.
They've been everyone's nemesis in the 7-man format. They just are, yeah, I think they are Sevens rugby. They have one of the proudest cultures in the game completely. Germany, what do you make? I cannot, in my memory, remember Germany featuring in any sevens.
You and me both. This is literally the first time I've seen them playing 7-man. Obviously, they're not at the Rugby World Cup, so they may be sevens specialists. But, you know, hats off to them making the semi-finals and running actually the Blitzboks fairly close.
That's how you use a home ground advantage. When we look at the captain there, Savua, obviously getting an opportunity, scoring in just about every match, but playmakers. I think they'd spoken about needing to tick certain boxes. We know it's all about having a system. Last year seemed to be a bit of a struggle with some of the new players learning that system, respecting that system. Clearly, everything in place now.
Yeah, they seem to have a bit of trouble integrating those players back into the 7-man format. This time they've got got Sabelo Senatla, Roscoe Speckman. They've both been playing Super Rugby, so they've been in the 15-man format. They're back now for the sevens. They're obviously star players for South Africa, and they can only benefit from having those sort of key players back.
Voice back in the mixer as well. But so congratulations, winning a narrow final, the 12-10, as you said, against our arch nemesis. Moving on to the Springbok women up against Spain. Not the best results, but up against a very strong team. They're in the top 10?
Yeah, they're ranked 9th in the world. So, you know, you didn't actually expect that, to be honest. But, you know, it's just another step on the path for the Springbok women's team. They've qualified for their World Cup, which takes place in 2021 in New Zealand. That's obviously going to be a tough place to tour. But, you know, this is obviously a learning curve for the SA women's side. You know, they're in South Africa. They play Scotland next. They're also ranked just behind South Africa. So maybe there's a chance to bounce back and beat them. But Stanley Robenheimer, you know, he's on record as saying he's a little bit disappointed with the performance in South Africa. You probably would have expected a little bit more from the SA women. But again, it's a learning curve. It's a baby step on a long-term path to this World Cup in 2021.
And we know it can be really tough landscape for a lot of our female players. Not a huge amount of contracts in the offing.
For sure.
They've really got to make it work for themselves. But they are having a fantastic build-up to, as they said, a World Cup, which we love. We want to see more representation. We'd love to see our gents give us a little bit more at the World Cup, of course. Garen, always an absolute pleasure, man. I think we literally traversed the entire globe there. But you can let us know how you're feeling about the Springboks in particular, about their Rugby World Cup campaign. Hit us up on all of our social media platforms.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
Well, you can traverse the world as far as you like, Graham. There's no better place than home. And, of course, with the warm weather and balmy days up ahead, it's a good idea to have a few winning braai recipes. So today, we're making a classic braai side, the roosterkoek, if you will, with a cheese clover twist to it. And, of course, you can make these on the braai to get that umami taste. And you just kind of diversify your plate, if you will. Earlier on, we showed you how to make a delicious Brussels sprouts and bacon side salad. But this is the braai roosterkoek to rule them all. So it starts over here. Very simple ingredients. You got some flour, you got some salt, clover mama bake that we've melted a little bit. Then you got some cheese, rosemary for that beautiful flavor of it, yeast and warm water. So you can get ahead or go ahead and mix up all of those.
Is there a formula to doing this? Do you just mix it all together? It's all going to come together at some point.
Well, usually when you're going to be doing like bakey kind of stuff, you're going to go dry ingredients first and then
cool.
the other stuff.
I'm going to do
that. Whatever you like.
Okay, cool. Dry
Doesn't
ingredients
matter.
first. We get with the salt.
There we go.
Salt in there.
like how Toby's like takes the salt and then goes
this?
like this.
What is this one now?
Smell it. King?
Yeah, rosemary.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, sure.
Oh yeah, no, it is. Yeast.
It's not parsley.
No, I mean it may be mixed, but I mean, who knows? I mean, no one needs to know that.
It's rosemary. So the yeast goes in there,
and then
the cheese obviously that's going to add to the creamy flavor. And of course, clover mama bake, 80% fat with a sauce, and it's a good source of vitamins A and D, and ideal for all of those yummy bakes you're trying to get into your kitchen. Gooi, musimane, gooi, and then you just get it nicely combined. Make sure you get rid of all the lumps, because at the end of the day, you want to have a beautiful, smooth dough like this. And once you've got it all incorporated, you're going to allow it to prove until it's doubled in size. That's very important when it comes to baking. And of course, that yeast is going to help that happen. And once you've gotten that, you're going to roll it out. Look at this, about 1 centimeter thick. Because nobody likes
no, you don't want it thin.
A skinny roaster
cook.
What is that all about?
What's the point?
Yeah, okay. So while you do that, I'm going to show everyone how to put it all together. So once you've rolled it out, you're going to take a square piece of cheese like this, right? You're going to use your knife to cut, let's say, go at about, let's say 0.5 centimeter on either side of the cheese, right?
Because you want to be able to pinch it close.
Exactement.
At the end.
Exactement. Net sure.
The key word is clover, guys. Clover to 33728. If you want the recipe sent to you on your phone, SMS clover to 33728. We'll send it to you. It's pretty simple. It's the mama bake we're using here, which, like we said, contains 80% fat with sources of vitamin A and D, ideal for all those yummy bakes that are going to remind you of your favorite auntie.
Then what you gonna... What? Okay. Then you're going to use that same line to kind of cut an equal-sized piece, square, right above it. And this will all make sense in a second, because at the end, you're going to obviously close it all together and then pinch the sides. And in the meantime, you've got your griddle pan going there at quite a nice heat. So you see you got the square that's going to go on top there.
Yeah.
And then you got a piece here. Then comes the beautiful part. You can layer it for us.
So then you've got
go with some tomato, anyanyesi.
And
there you go.
Onions there.
Salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
In there as well, because nobody likes a bland tomato.
No, you don't want that.
There we go. And there we go.
Pepper there as well.
Good.
And then you wanna.
Then you're gonna get a little bit of
the chutney.
Blatyang.
Chutney or chutney, depending on where in the country.
Hey, relax. Hey. Oh wow. Will not be coming over to your house for roasted cook anytime soon. Like, you were only supposed to go with 1 spoon, dolopo, mochare, and then, you know, when you press it down, it's going to spread. Now, when you took the whole blatyang, just
juicy.
Now we were making a masterpiece. Now it's spilled all over the case. But it's fine. There. Then you pinch the sides. Press it down, pinch the sides.
Kat's actually a bully in the kitchen.
What do you...
And actually, you know what?
Saying, I was giving you a guide.
I never want to come help you out at your house with the preparation. Just invite me when the food is ready, because wow, there's going to be tears.
You know, when the recipe says 1 spoon of chutney, and then Tabi says, okay, the whole container must go.
Pinched, okay.
Done. Then you're going to have that on your griddle pan, and then... Of course, you could do this on the braai as well. What you're looking for is for those griddle marks to kind of come out, and then you want that nice golden brown finish to it, and you'll flip it. And while we wait for that to happen, let's quickly show you how to make it, not with the entire container of chutney.
What's a braai without some tasty sides? Treat your friends to some homemade, cheesy stuffed clover mama bake rooster cook served hot off the braai. Add 1 sachet of instant yeast to 3 cups of bread flour. Next, add a teaspoon of salt, 2 sprigs chopped fresh rosemary, half a cup of grated clover cheddar cheese, 2 tablespoons melted clover mama bake, and 1 1/4 cups of lukewarm water. Mix until a dough starts to form. Then turn it out onto a table and knead for about 10 to 15 minutes. Cover the dough and set aside to double in size. Next, roll the dough out into rectangle shapes. Arrange clover cheddar cheese slices over the top half of the dough and cut into squares. Spread your favorite fruit chutney over the cheese, followed by some thinly sliced tomatoes and onions, and season to taste. Close and seal each roasted cook with excess dough. Dust with flour and place inside a braai grid. Braai over moderate coals until golden and cooked. Easy to make on the braai or in the oven, Clover Mama Bake Rooster Cook will be an instant hit with all your friends and family, so go on, make their day.
Made with love by Clover.
Made with
Takes
love.
a bit of practice, but it's pretty simple, and you're only 7 ingredients away from making your favorite and your best rooster cook. 7 ingredients. Clover to 33728 will send you an SMS with a link to the recipe. Obviously, Kat now feels like he is the rooster cook.
Make another one.
Guy.
It's quinning. The word you're looking for is quinning.
Quinning.
You know what that means, right?
Master, expert. Yeah. Anyway, so that's how you make it. SMS Clover to 33728, and we'll send you an SMS with a link to the recipe.
Okay.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
Okay, so
like $1 dolopo, just...
But this is as much as I had on the other
you
one.
did like the entire... I had to ask the kitchen staff to bring us extra chutney because you took the entire thing.
I want to see you pinch this nice.
No, you don't even... Just give it a press.
Man, come in here. Come have a taste and let us know what you think of this.
How long must I stand there on the sidelines? I'm like that guest.
Okay.
That guest that won't leave the house.
Wait for when the
you know, at the end of the braai, everyone else has gone home, and there's that one person doing it. What must I do? Must I just grab the whole thing? There's
just
no
grab one.
cutting finger pieces, nothing.
Let us know what you think.
I'm gonna have it.
Have you flipped that thing?
I just did.
You let it be. Tomo.
You guys.
I bet you it's burnt now, Tabisa, because of you.
Don't show anyone.
No, it's just
it's still.
It's all right.
And how is it?
Well, it's amazing.
We are konings of the roaster cook. Clover to double.
Did you make your own bread? You made the bread.
We have done it.
You made the bread.
Conquered the bride. There's nothing smoother than winning when you buy Tropica. To enter for Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, buy any size and your favorite flavor of Tropica in fresh or long life. Find the unique code behind the label or the sticker. Then follow the entry details on the pack and you could win daily prizes of airtime, cash, LG Q60 smartphones, 55-inch LG UHD smart artificial intelligence digital TVs, steam dishwashers, Caribbean tan hampers, or guest watches. That's more than 100,000 prizes. Now, for your chance at competing in Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, record a video audition of yourself describing how you would outsmooth your competition on the island. Then, load that video onto Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook with hashtag TIOT9 or WhatsApp the video to 063-921-8395. And it could be you winning a share of R1 million plus smooth fame and fortune while flying with KLM to the Caribbean for this season of Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao.
Cheers to Tampa.
I've been looking for it.
See the world on your doorstep with SA Tourism. Short left and travel starts week of awesomely affordable packages to destinations around South Africa. From September 23rd to 29th on travelstar.co.za, the country, ocean, cities and hidden gems are all in reach with super discounted flights and accommodation. No visas, no stopovers or foreign exchange. Just glorious South African getaways you can experience this Heritage Month for Travel Week.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso Live right here on SABC 3. Now, joining us as the reigning GQ's best dressed man and hailing all the way from KZN to the shores of Cape Town, business analyst, entrepreneur, lifestyle brand strategist, a writer, a photographer, a stylist, a creative director with a huge love for all things Epicurean and the finer things in life. The man is here to share his style journey with us, and he is known on the streets sometimes as Mr. Style himself. It's Seth Shezi, ladies and gents. Welcome.
Wow. The only man that I know that can rock white socks with a formal jacket and make it look
and not look like a jester, like just make it like look so cool.
No, you're supposed to be mixing up street with formal.
Yeah.
And I'm the walking embodiment of that.
Yeah. If street was a person.
I thought I'd make an effort for you guys. You know?
We appreciate. Talk to us through your journey, because as I understand, you were headhunted to become a business analyst.
Yes. So
for Metropolitan.
Yeah.
In your gap year.
Yes. So, like, long story short, I decided I wanted to take a gap year. My folks were like, well, you know, we can't afford to send you to the UK like everyone used to. And so then they were like, cool. It was the thing back in the day. Like, when you finished your degree, you're like, cool, I'm going off to the UK.
Let's go to the UK.
But then I decided, listen, I was living in Rondebosch and then I just experienced town a little bit. I was like, town is a different game. Like, town is a lot more fun. So I was like, hey, can you just pay for me to live here? It'll cost you less and whatever. And so like, cool, fine. And then 3 months into this gap year, I got headhunted I saw the money, I liked things. I was like, cool, this will afford me things and I don't need my parents, so I took the job. And so I worked as an analyst for probably about 4 years after that. And in that time, I was sort of like, I don't know, very happy to, be working in this job. But I started noticing that I cared less about the promotions and more about the increases, because it meant I could travel more, I could do more of the things that I actually wanted to do. And my friends around my circle were always referring to me for like, where do you go out, where do you shop, and all that stuff. So I was like the super micro influencer before we knew what it was.
Oh, wow.
Just for my circle, yeah.
Yeah. But your sense of style is just impeccable. And I mean, I've seen it emulated by many on the streets, many people who sort of reference you.
People troll through your Instagram to see pictures like that, and then they go and find outfits like that.
And they rock them and tag you. But also, you've been able to sort of make your face work with whatever it is that you're wearing. So you've got your beard going on there, and you dress really nicely. How would you say that your beard complements just your style in general?
I never thought that my beard was actually a big deal or anything like that until people started saying, hey, how do you make your beard connect and everything? So then I started realizing, oh, people struggle with this thing. And then also...
Do they?
Smooth. And also then people always asking questions about how do you keep your beard so fresh, because it always glistens, and also having like premature graying. And then I started answering, not knowing really what I was actually saying to people. And I was like, oh, cool, I mean, this is what you could do, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden I was getting tagged on all of the, guys with beards that connect and all that stuff. So I try and trim as consistently as possible, because it keeps it fresh. And I've got a barber who actually I rely on very deeply, called Jackson. I believe you used to, he used to cut your hair as well. Jackson? In Sea Point.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Because I remember one time going there, and he was like, oh, I saw you on TV last week, and I cut Katlecho's hair. I was like, oh, cool, So I think just constant trimming, because that keeps the hair follicles sort of healthy. Make sure that you use a beard oil, and keep it sculpted to the shape of your face.
Being the traveler that you are, I've got to know what is on Seth's top 5 essential travel must-haves. Because you are, I mean, what?
Always traveling. Look at this dude. He's basically never in the country.
Based on that photo, I think you need a really good bag. So that's a Cape Cobra bag, which I customized with them. You always need a bag to carry all your best stuff. So, ostrich, you never go wrong. It's very South African. I need a fragrance. I like smelling good, so that's something that really matters to me. So I currently use, I think, a Bulgari manwood essence. So you need that. And always have a night cream. It sounds like very old to say that you need a night cream, especially for guys, but you need one. So I use some oil. I can't remember what the brand is.
What?
Yeah, that was...
Who takes these photos, Seth?
I can't reveal that. But that was my breakfast for my birthday, which was last week.
That's epic. Happy belated.
Thank you. And what else? Is that 4?
That would be your fragrance, your bag. What else did you say?
An oil.
And a photographer.
You need a photographer, definitely.
Because they have to always be with you everywhere. Now, you're constantly traveling, we know that, but your look and your signature look has become is such a big part of who you are. What would you say that are the top tips for somebody looking to establish their own personal brand using those sort of elements to come through?
You know what, I think it's always going to be relevant to... It's a good thing that nowadays we don't have to match our outfits to the jobs that we do. But in my space, like as a creative director and a lifestyle strategist, I can't pretend that when I'm sitting there presenting to like a brand that they're not looking at how I look and imagining, oh, what kind of content is this guy going to actually produce for us? So you have to try and present that. It's almost like assuming the job before you actually get it. So if you walk through the door, you need to look like the guy who's going to be creatively directing the next ad for Mercedes-Benz, for Bulgari, for whoever you're going to be working with. I'm just using examples that I'm working on at the moment. And you...
Just drop it in there.
I mean, I'm excited. It's a new contract, so I have to talk about it. Anyway, and so if you look like that, it needs to look believable, but also ultimately you need to look comfortable in what you're wearing, because there's nothing worse than someone who looks top to bottom in like a sleek sort of suit, but you can tell they're uncomfortable. You just want to like have the sense of ease.
Listen, conversations with you are always inspiring, my brother. What a way to start the Monday. Seth Shazier, trailblazer, trendsetter, true example of someone who knows how to master his look and also drop in the odd hint. Mercedes.
I should come here more often. This is the best
Finding and maintaining your aura as you embark on mastering your own look. You can, of course, opt for Big's premium range of disposable razors available at your local leading retailers nationwide. Thanks very much, by the way.
Cool. Thank you.
Give me that jacket, man.
It's a custom. I made this.
Master your look with Big Flex.
So let's shift gears dramatically now. Owning a pet is a major responsibility. You become a parent, in a sense, and sometimes as those working poor parents, it's tough to give our furry companions all the attention that they need. So that's why it's important to keep our pets entertained when we are not around, or when we're around as well. We're going to chat to canine behaviorist Sabrina Talyata on how we can let our dogs have some fun when we're not at home. Sabrina, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
This is something I can certainly speak from experience about. I've got two Dachshunds at home that do require a lot of entertainment. You know, especially when we're not there, we battle with separation anxiety and those sorts of things. But we want our pets to have fun, but it's difficult to give them that when we're not there. So maybe we start at a good place would be, what can happen when our pets don't get the stimulation when they become bored, in essence?
Yeah, boredom can lead to a lot of behavior issues. So one of them would be destructive behavior, you know, so this is where your dog would pull off the washing, dig up the garden, eat the couches. You know,
tear up the zips on your cushions, on your pillows.
Yeah, they'll find their own things to entertain themselves with, yeah.
And we know that repeating this negative behavior, can it start to have kind of anxiety, a deepened effect on the nature of the dog?
Yeah, it becomes learnt, you know, so something that they might have done to help them cope. So when they're alone, you know, it might be like, well, I don't know what to do with myself, so I'm going to find my own things to do. So they find there's those things to do, and it's no longer triggered by the original motivator. You know, it might become a learned behavior. And it's so much harder to address because you need to find what is motivating this. Well, the original reason is not motivating you anymore, it's something else.
Now it's that pattern.
Yeah, so now you've got to try and break that, yeah.
Or spend a ridiculous amount of money on buying new pillows. And it's amazing how they often will kind of focus on one thing once that, as you said, that learned behavior kind of kicks in. What are some of the warning signs, those early warning signs that maybe your pet isn't entertained? Obviously damage being one of the things, but what are some of the warning signs?
Well, your dog might start to bark, so you've got to keep an eye, you know, on that. It might be a good idea to put up cameras. You know, some people do that just to keep an eye on what is their dog actually doing. You know, it's the destructive behavior, like I said before, the barking. Your neighbours will complain, yeah.
And can have a far-reaching negative, apart from the emotional stress attached to it. You know, if you're living in a complex, if you're living in close proximity to other people, it really can have a damaging and negative effect. So what are some of the ways that we can entertain our pets when we're not around? Where do you begin as a behaviorist?
Well, firstly, I would start with breakfast with your animals. So give them, you know, a way to get their breakfast in, which isn't just getting it out of a bowl. So interactive feeders, slow feeders, things like that is really great to get that mental stimulation going. So they've started the day with something to do, so when you leave it's not so hectic. You could also take toys, you know, take the toys, hide them around the garden, around the house, so your dog's got to go find them. You could scatter feed, so you take the treats, you know, or the actual food and hide it around the garden, and it's something to do. So if they're bored, it's like sniffing around, oh look, I found something around a tree, and then they're gonna basically end up hunting for something. And also rotate the toys as well, so you're not going to leave all your toys out, but you know, pick up a few, leave 5 out.
New stimulation,
every couple of days, something for them to look forward to.
I find with Dachshunds specifically, a good chew really does help, something that they can kind of gnaw on and get into.
Yes, so chewing is a natural behavior for dogs, so we need to give them things that they find internally rewarding, things that they enjoy naturally. So chewing is one of them. It keeps them busy, it keeps them entertained. So with chewing, you also got to keep an eye on, you can't give them something that they might choke on. You know, so you can take basically a toy, you can smear some pet peanut butter in that or something like that, and they'll, you know, it'll stimulate them, they start to lick that, they'll start to chew on that, and it's internally rewarding, it really makes them feel nice. The nice thing with chewing as well is it cleans the teeth, you know, so if the dog's got bad teeth, it could affect the heart, you know, so it all plays an effect together.
I can believe it, hearing about the fact that the plaque build-up on teeth can actually can have an effect on their heart. I think the most important thing is you know your pet. So watch your pet, watch their behavior, but I think you can get creative in that home space.
Yes, there's loads of things you can do,
You are not powerless. Sabrina, thank you so much. Thanks for sharing your perspective. Hopefully you guys at home have just had a little bit of a spark there. Start with maybe something that they can chew, something that's not going to damage their teeth, but might actually help to enhance enhance their dental care. Then you're ticking a couple of boxes in the same space. You can create a fun and entertaining environment in life for your pets when you're not at home. And with Malton's amazing range of toys, your furry loved ones will also have a ball of a time when you're not there. We'll see you on the other side.
Catch the next installment of Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition, Wednesday evening at 7:30 on SABC3, as the finalists take on their second challenge. Presenting to camera is one thing, but with elimination looming, can the contestants keep the audience engaged while stepping out of their comfort zone? That's Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition, Wednesday evenings at 7:30 only on SABC3, with a repeat on Saturdays at 1.
Noma, noma segunzima.
This is our top blender. 1,000-watt motor, titanium blades.
What about this one, Etty? It's strong.
Yeah, sure, it even chops nuts.
Nuts? Now that's protein. Can it blend harder things?
Harder things like...
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show this Monday morning, and thanks for joining us at the start of a brand new day and brand new week indeed. Now, the next Cape Town Philharmonic Orchestral Showcase, CPO Spectacular, is happening at the Artscape Theatre in Cape Town on Sunday, the 20th of October at 5 p.m. Mark it in your calendars. And joining us, or joining this showcase, of course, the ever so talented vocal ensemble Asili, and they are here to give us a sneak peek of what we can expect. We've got Sizwe, Vanessa, and Roman here to give us a breakdown of what we can expect. And I mean, this is, firstly, when you guys were sound checking earlier on, you moved me to a place of emotion. I had to pull myself back and ask Tabiso to do the opening link because I just couldn't. It's an amazing thing that you guys have going on. Give us a bit of a background on how the ensemble came together, because I understand a lot of you used to sing in the National Youth Choir of South Africa?
Yes, yeah. So about, we were singing in the choir for 5 years.
Yeah.
And then we decided, you know, as time went by, we need to do our own thing. And that's what we did. We're a bunch of friends, and we decided to do our own thing, and it just took off from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the bigger goal around it? Because, I mean, obviously, I can understand the feeling of, you know, the times you used to spend together making absolutely beautiful music. It formed great memories. And now you decide to bring your talents together again as friends. And obviously, that needs to find definition. There needs to be an overarching theme as to why Asili exists. What is the mission?
You know what, choral music in South Africa plays such a big role in just our social inclusion of all of our cultures in South Africa. And if you're a chorister, you know the feeling of what it feels like to sing. Or if you've just been in church. And what we want to do with this is we want to give a voice to all cultures in South Africa, and also to give that feeling of wholeness. We are all one. We are South African. Doesn't matter where you come from. We also want to give a voice to people who don't necessarily have a voice to speak, especially in the times now where we need to speak about things we don't always want to speak about.
Yeah, and how much we do need that right now.
Yeah.
And so you'll be showcasing a little bit of that at the next Cape Philharmonic Orchestral Showcase alongside the Cape Philharmonic Orchestra. And I mean, what a privilege to be able to perform with a musical ensemble like that. But what can we expect from you?
Well, Aviva Pelham is our phenomenal director, once again. Brandon Phillips will be conducting. I mean, it's just an absolute honor for us. We see it as an absolute learning experience. The Zip Zap Circus will also be there. Alexia and Michelle, they're just phenomenal. Linnell Kennard is also going to be there. We're going to be doing backup for Jared Ricketts. It's just a show, a star-studded show, and it's going to be phenomenal.
Wow. And beyond that, 2020 sees you going on a tour, international tour. Will this be the first international tour for Azili?
First for Azili.
Yeah. For Azili, yes.
Okay. And you'll be going to Denver, Colorado?
Yes.
In the United States with the Boulder Symphony Orchestra. Tell us a bit about that, how that all came about.
Okay, so in 2017 we were in New York. We were touring with another choir, and we met this amazing lady called Natalie.
Yeah.
And we just planted the seed about how we can collaborate again. And then she started her own foundation called the Namaste Works Alliance. And then everything just came about. And then the Boulder Symphony Orchestra, they came about. And now we're launching her foundation, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Where does the name Azili come from?
So Azili means the originals, so something that is original, it comes from within. We also wanted to keep it authentic in terms of, you know, this is the start of something, so when you start something, you start it fresh.
Yeah.
Also, we believe that, or rather, yes, it is, we haven't seen such a group in our industry, especially in South Africa, so we also wanted to bring that fresh thing of, you can start fresh, you can start afresh, start something new, hence the originals. And it's the originals in Swahili, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Azili means the originals in Swahili.
In Swahili.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, what a way to brand that as an international exportable product that we're going to be putting out there. So hopefully an album recording sometime in the future, maybe a collaboration with Black Coffee dropping somewhere in Ibiza. I can just see it happening.
I hope Black Coffee is listening.
Into existence, we claim it. At Azili_the originals is where we can follow you on social media. You guys sound immaculate, brilliant, beautiful, and with Heritage Day coming up, I can only just imagine that you know you hope to infuse that into your music as well.
Yes.
What does it mean to you guys, by the way, Heritage Day? What does it mean to be truly South African?
You know what? It's a cliche.
Yeah.
But singing together in a choir, all different voices, different people coming together. We might not agree on everything. Trust us, we don't agree on everything. But learning to love throughout all the differences.
I couldn't think of a better message than that. So listen, book your tickets 5 p.m. on the 20th of October at the Artscape Theatre. It's the CPO Spectacular. What a showcase it'll be with talented young people like this. And I can't wait for you to hear them singing live on Expresso.
Help forward.
So I'm busy being told what I'm going to have to do, and I cannot wait. I relish the opportunity to cook with this kitchen goddess as we South Africans, I think, celebrate our heritage in the best possible way. This Heritage Day, we are cooking and we are eating. Yes, we will braai as well, but we can get in the kitchen and we love it. So my question is not what you will be braaiing, but rather what you will be baking. We're going to spice it up a little bit with something truly beautiful. Our food culture sprinkled with baked treats. We know that, and we really love to have our sweet tooth expressed on the show with one of the sweetest of them all. It's Jenny Morris. We're going to celebrate in the kitchen as she bakes a Sasco nachi cake topped with a Vanda Hum glaze. How many boxes have we ticked in one session? First of all, you're amazing. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, my sweetheart.
This is beautiful. This is
Isn't it
amazing.
gorgeous?
This is the nachi. It's a part of our heritage.
It's a nachi.
It's a nachi.
A nachi.
Okay, so first of all, expand on what we are making this morning.
All right, it is a little nachi cake. Whether you say nachi or nachi, it is purely South African. You won't find a nachi overseas.
For sure.
With Sasco flour, which I think is part of our heritage, over 80 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's part of our history, man.
It is our history here. So basically, it's just wet and dry.
Okay.
So what I would like you to do is I'm going to fling in that. Just follow me. Take the sugar. Stop being a lazy child now.
Just some ahoy.
Yes, hoy, baby. So we've got our sugar, and this is nachi peel. What you've got to take away the zest. The zest and leave the pith, because the pith is bitter.
Okay.
Look at that gorgeousness.
Just the peel.
And then
beautiful colour as well.
It is. It's so vibrant. And this is your icing and your what do you call it? Raising agent.
Baking powder.
Baking powder. Okay.
Cool.
So let's just give this a quick. You do that.
Okay.
And just mix it all up nicely. And I'm going to give you some oil. I love an oil-based cake because it lasts longer.
Okay.
Well, that's certainly what I think.
Oh man, I love
that. And can you smell that? And it's just, it's beautiful.
Bursts.
Yeah. That's it. Give me some muscle power, baby. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And this nachi juice, I'd like to quaff it, but it's got to go into the
I thought that might be the Van der Hub. I was like, no.
No, I know about you, so I've already mixed it into the glaze.
But that's delicious, and this is, oh man, the citrus explosion.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah. Beautiful.
And then,
I love
of
it.
course.
So as Jenny said, the Sasko, which she is now delving into, they've been around for 80 years. Pretty much doesn't get more South African than them, I think. And we know that obviously you love making your incredible breads.
Yes.
But cake just as good. It's amazing how I think Sasko's incorporated themselves, or we've incorporated Sasko into our lives.
Exactly. It's something you grow up with. I think it's going to make your life a lot easier.
Thank you.
All right, give Mommy that. I'll sort that out.
There we go.
There we go. So in with our beautiful flour.
Okay.
Keep going, and then just keep folding it in. I don't like to overwork the flour, but you don't want big lumps springing up all over the show as well.
It's quite a nice kind of dense.
Gorgeous,
cake.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Look.
I love the fact that our nachi is being here. I think a firm favourite among most South African kind of homes, but it's really nice to bring it into a cake, which I haven't seen before.
Now, what I'm going to do is I like to take, separate the eggs and put some egg white into it, and this is going to break it down a little bit more. I'm going to give you about a third of this. No, don't stir now. You're going to fold.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, show off. He knows how it's done. Okay, sweetheart, just kind of fold that in and sort of bring it over. There we go. Do you get the idea? He's getting it right.
I'm
loving it. You see, it's already starting to soften.
Does, yeah.
And you could also use a metal spoon. A metal spoon is also quite nice because it doesn't knock the air out of it. The whole idea here is not to knock the air out of the egg whites.
Okay.
Look how beautiful that looks. I can make your life so much easier. Because we're obviously not going to bake this one because I've got one baked already.
Thank you so much. Okay, so you continue to fold.
You just continue to fold.
And this is where you imbue the love into your beautiful nachi cake. Okay, so for our base, this will obviously then get folded in, pop it into the oven for how long?
This one goes for about 40 minutes, but it depends on your oven. On the middle shelf, it depends on whether it's a thermo, then it's sort of 180.
How would you test? Is it the same knife
skewer?
in? A skewer?
Not, you'd rather use a skewer because if it's not ready, you put a knife in it, you're making a big hole.
Okay,
and then
that's going to
all that beautiful lightness goes out of it.
The steam out. Okay, beautiful stuff. And then we're going to move on to our glaze.
Our glaze, which is fantastic. Look at this.
And this is where you can start having a lot of fun. The keyword here is Sasko to 33728 if you want to create this beautiful nachi cake. Or do it. You are glaze bang. And obviously the Van der Hum makes, you want to slow-mo that actually and put that on your Instagram.
Look at that.
And I like the fact that it's a little bit rustic, that you want to kind of just let it flow so you get some thicker...
We are South Africans. We are rustic.
Completely.
You know,
okay, so while we circle our glaze, I don't know what the official term is, you can take a look at how we arrived at our final end result here, where we put the finishing touches on this beauty.
It's good, yeah.
Sasko, baking together since 1930. The sweet and tart citrus blend of nachi and vanilla is a fresh and traditional flavor bomb in the Sasko nachi cake topped with a Van der Hum glaze. This cake would make a wonderful dessert for any meal or tea time treat. So, to get started with a cake, whip 6 egg whites to stiff peaks and set aside. Next, mix together 125 ml of nachi juice and 125 ml of hot water in a large bowl. Add 2 cups of sugar and a half a cup of finely chopped nachi peel, zest only without the pith, and stir together well. Add the 6 beaten egg yolks to the bowl, followed by 250 ml of oil, and give it a good stir. Then, to a sieve, add 2 cups of Sasco cake wheat flour, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, and a pinch of salt, and sift together into a separate bowl. Next, mix the flour mixture into the egg mixture, and then add in a few spoons of the whipped egg whites. Once mixed in, gently fold in the remaining egg whites. Divide the mixture between 2 lined and greased cake tins and bake at 170 degrees Celsius for about 40 to 45 minutes. Then, to get started with a fondue glaze, add 250 grams of sifted icing sugar to a bowl, along with 2 tablespoons nachi juice, 1 tablespoon finely chopped nachi peel, and 2 tablespoons of fondue liqueur. Whisk to combine, adjusting the icing sugar and liquid until you get your desired consistency, and spoon the glaze over the cake. This cake is delicious served slightly warm. Just before serving, garnish with pretty edible flowers and slices of caramelized nachi over the cake.
All right, so we're going to dot our little slices. Does this go back in once the glaze is on, or do you just let that set and
if
eat
you're
it?
If you're nice to me, I shall give you a nice big wedge.
I will. I've been very nice to you this entire time. I'm trying to like emulate, but it's absolutely amazing.
Own it, darling, own it.
I love it. I'm going to send to them. Oh, and it's so delicious. There's lots of.
Give me a knife.
There's lots of delicious finger licking going on. The keyword here is Sasco to 33728, Jen. I've got to ask tomorrow. We are expressing our heritage in the best way possible by creating delicious things.
Yes.
What is going down at the Cape Quarter on the flame?
On the flame with Jenny Morris at the Cape Quarter. We want you to come and make a Sasco brekkie with me. We're going to be having a braai competition. It's going to be cooking duck. We're going to, yes, duck is such a challenge on a braai, and we're going to make braai brekkies. We'll give our contestants, it's competition with those sandwiches. They can either do it like a big fat open sandwich one, I'll make some Sasco dough, or they can use Sasco sliced bread, and they can finish. You've got to surprise me and make my mouth love me, because I'm also one of those judges.
I want to say that she's a tough cookie, but she is very generous and forgiving, so I think she will absolutely love whatever your braai brekkie is. But go out there, put yourself to the test. This looks amazing.
Yes. So they can come and support the teams at 9 o'clock. From 9 o'clock at the Cape Quarter in Greenpoint. You like it, darling?
Oh my goodness, that is amazing.
This is mummy love.
It's so good. Again, the keyword is Sasco to 33728, and you can be enjoying this delicious nachi and vandaham special. It's beautiful. I have to have another one, sorry.
It's all for you.
Sasco, baking together since 1930.
He really was enjoying it.
He really was getting into it. He hasn't stopped. He hasn't stopped eating.
Anyway, some exciting news, guys. Toni Braxton is coming to South Africa. Yes, think about it. What's your favorite Toni Braxton song?
Unbreak my heart. Hey, come on.
Like that Spanish guitar. Hey, so if you're a fan, then you have 2 ways of going. You can either buy tickets, or you can just go to McDonald's store and then spend 180 Rand or more, and then you're automatically entered in the running to win double tickets that are valued at 1,600 Rand.
This is a big prize. It's a big one. Toni Braxton will be performing her As Long As I Live tour in Johannesburg on the 9th of November and in Cape Town on the 12th of November. So get your McD's, get to your McD's, get your tickets, and don't miss out on this opportunity. Remember, the T's and C's, they do apply, and you can find them on mcdonalds.co.za. Get entering.
My name is Pesi Khivazi. I'm a TV presenter. You might recognize me from Selimatunzi. To join me on the island to find fame and fortune, all you have to do is go buy yourself a bottle of Tropica and follow all the entry details. Take a video of yourself explaining why you would be my ideal partner. All you have to do is hashtag TIOT9 and upload that on all of your social media platforms. Join me on the island and come find your smooth fame and fortune on Tropica Island of Treasure, Carousel.
Yeah.
Ngosi, Ngosi sikelela, Ngosi sikelela, i-Afrika. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, your love at Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in. Man, I've eaten a lot this morning. I've chowed, eh? Your rooster cook was amazing. The cake was amazing. My diet's gone out the window. I know that's how we
having a good time on
yeah,
there.
man. No, that's one of the ways we express our heritage. Certainly in South Africa, as we cook, we love that. So maybe food is one word that for you typifies South Africa to an international. But we asked you, for a tourist, how would you describe in one word this beautiful land of ours?
And one word is difficult. Some of your
It is
comments that
tough,
have come
yeah.
through. Let's see. Here's one from David Gummers who says, one word is impossible, but as a regular to your beautiful country, natural beauty, phenomenal food, world-class wine, and some of the best singers in the world.
Yeah, man.
Some of whom I'm blessed to guide.
So, David, obviously you're a guide, which is cool, man. So you get to sell our country every day.
Every single day. And you have many words to sell this country.
I love this one coming from Nicole Finney. Good morning. My word is diversity. For sure.
That's a
For
strong
sure.
one.
We live it every day.
Here's another one from Kanyisila Carol Pagati saying, the beauty of the country, especially in Mpumalanga province. So beauty is the word. The word is beauty.
Or
The
maybe in
keyword
Mpumalanga.
is beauty. Or Mpumalanga.
Yeah, I love that. Let's see if we've got any more. Sipa saying, morning team, I would say that culture and the rich history that we have, Table Mountain, of course. You see, it's almost impossible to get one
just give one
word.
What
have you figured out?
I've already said like it was food. I thought the first thing, you didn't even have to ask me. Food. That's it. Just
people.
Food.
I would say people.
Food. Flavor. People.
South African people rock.
Let us know. Continue to let us know on our Facebook page.
Could be
Expresso
music.
as well. Morning show as ABC3. Hashtag Expresso Show. Speaking of music, some of the best voices in the land.
Yeah, boy.
Cat Factor.
Indeed, we are in the presence of an abundance of talent, and their mission is to contribute towards the transformation of music in the South African industry and the context. And they're doing so one performance at a time, and you can catch them on the 20th of October at the Artscape. But for now, the Azili Ensemble are in studio right now performing Nkosi Sikelela, the decolonized version.
Ngosi, Ngosi sikelela, Ngosi sikelela, i-Afrika.
Ululate! All across the continent. Beautiful stuff. You can follow these guys at Azili_the originals on social media to catch up on what they're doing. And of course, we have another performance coming up for you right on your Feel Good Breakfast show a little bit later on. Thank you very much. That was very, very special. A great way to start a Monday. Wouldn't you agree, Tubbsy?
I would totally agree. Man, what talent. What a vibe, David.
Absolutely amazing, hey?
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
We're speaking about all the amazing things that we have on offer here in the country. If you had one word to sell South Africa to an absolute stranger, to a tourist, what would that word be?
Beautiful diversity.
Beautiful diversity.
Yes.
Beautiful and diversity.
And
David
diversity.
Tlale is in the house, ladies and gents, here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. After the break, we get to catch up with him on all the amazing things, the beautiful and the diverse range of things that he's been up to, so stay here.
On the next episode of The Next Brand Ambassador, going back to basics, the contestants are tasked with putting together a mall activation that attracts passing shoppers and generates leads.
It's go time.
What are we going to do to make this great?
This is so intense.
I've never done this. Poor help. No one wants to work with me.
If you want to be boss, go be boss somewhere else, gal.
That's The Next Brand Ambassador, Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. only on SABC3.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's a Monday morning, the start of a brand new day and brand new week. And so good to be in your company. Thanks for joining us. Now, internationally renowned South African fashion designer David Tlale has been a fashion powerhouse for the past 2 decades. And he recently returned from showcasing a unique street runway show at New York Fashion Week, as well as launching a new heritage design which celebrates the vibrant mix of all cultures within South Africa. So please, let's welcome fashion royalty King David Tlale. Yes! Celebrate and ululate.
You should.
Sire. Great to have you. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Such a pleasure having you here. This is not your first time, wasn't your first time showcasing in New York Fashion Week.
Yeah.
What's the experience like this time around when you've done it so many times?
I mean, you know, as a brand made in South Africa, you kind of like think, how am I going to reinvent myself? Are you going back into the tents? Are you going to be part of the runways? And also just like, how do you strengthen your signature as a brand? And I think the journey has been like really phenomenal this year. Like last year we started with like, you know, like a flash mob in Times Square. So this year we did it again. It like just on the streets of just New York, just like do this campaign and just like make sure that you stand out. And it's so interesting how actually the world is now catching up in what we're doing.
Yeah.
A few brands started doing the same thing that we're doing, major brands, I'm not talking like small brands, major brands, and it's been like really beautiful to see that what we do is actually being recognized.
Yeah. Looking at these pictures, you literally took over New York. That's what I'm seeing.
We literally stopped traffic.
Exactly. That's beautiful to see.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, what we also know, and very sadly so, and to you and your family, our condolences.
Thank you.
Mum Joyce was laid to rest very recently, and tell me about how I mean, Queen. How you drew inspiration from your personal story and infused it into what we're seeing right now.
Sure. The collection, like, it was one of the most difficult collections to do because it's purely a tribute to my mum, how she's inspired me to become the man that I am, in terms of the growth, the hardships, and the ups and downs in life that, you know, you go through. And also making her to become the icon that she is in our lives today. And to say, it doesn't matter where you come from, but the heritage that she brought into us, which is love, respect, forgiveness, knowing God, and knowing that when it's all said and done, you can still make it. It doesn't matter where you come from. And those are the things that I will always cherish and forever love from our beloved mum. And people say, what textures did you bring? Did you pick up from her? Those fundamentals of life is what really defines me and defines us as a brand, David Tlale, because literally we started from nothing, and today we are a brand that is growing in South Africa and globally. So it was very, very important to reflect on the upbringing, which is purely what we stand for.
I'm always so mind blown, David, at your ability to tell stories through fashion. What goes on behind the scenes? So when you sit and you are crafting this heritage range, for example, how do you bring those textures to life in ways that are so beautiful?
I mean, we are continuously inspired by life, ups and downs, celebrations, and who we are as South Africans, because, like I said earlier, it's beautiful and it's very diverse. While I was growing up in Forsterus, I mean, we had multicultures, from the Tsongas, the Bedis, you know, the vendors, everybody, and also the traditions that, you know, other families had to celebrate, and we look at the costumes and all those things. Those things really inspired our journey. And then you look at growing up in South Africa, the colors of Poorkap, the Nelson Mandela Bridge, the towers in Soweto, Ponte Towers in Hillbrow. Those beautiful landscapes, they make what South Africa is today and where we're going. And also learning from our different paths to say this is who we are. It's okay from where we come from. It was not okay then from the apartheid days, but now we are reinventing new ways of doing things as South Africans. So it's very, very important to do so.
Yeah. So as the global brand that is David Tlale, what does the future hold? I mean, I feel like the world is your oyster and anything you touch literally turns to gold.
It does.
It really does. What's in the future?
I mean, what's in the future is like literally growing the brand by distributing the product. Also, just emphasizing on that the David Tlale brand is a lifestyle journey. And you look at the collaborations that we've done, and also the current heritage campaign that we are on right now. It's very, very important to say you keep on expanding the brand David Tlale to make it come alive, reinvent it, because our vision as a brand is to make sure that decades from now, even our children's children should still be talking about the brand David Tlale.
And they will. And they will, for sure, without a doubt. David, thank you so much. Such an inspiration. What a trailblazer. What an absolute pioneer, telling the South African and the African story indeed to the world. And, I mean, we really can't get our eyes off your absolutely striking designs, and I know that whatever the future holds is going to be really exciting.
I pray so.
Thank you.
Thank
David.
you.
Well, from heritage fashion that we are incredibly proud of. Well done, David, just celebrating heritage food. If you are from Cape Town, you'll probably know the saying, Vescus asleep Vescus. And our very own Anel Potgieter decided to jump in her car to visit her friend Isabella Neerhaus in the sleepy West Coast town of Langebaan to find out just what makes West Coast cooking so special. Let's take a look.
Morning everyone, I'm on my way to my friend and cookbook author Isabella Neerhaus in Langebaan to find out more about the food on the West Coast. If you think West Coast food is just bokkums and brandewyn, think again. The West Coast is one of South Africa's foodie hotspots, and Bella is going to show us why. It's a bit rainy today. I hope it's going to clear up. Spotted this beautiful soutslaai along the way, and this is really heritage food of the West Coast. I've picked a few leaves for Bella and I'm going to give it to her as a gift. Hi Bella!
Hi Anneli.
Asseblief. Weet jy stuk jy ook van bokkums? I bought you some bokkums.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and then I saw some soutslaai. So I just stopped and picked some beautiful ones. So I'm going to put that down there for you.
I thought it was onkruid until I realized that you can actually eat it, and it was growing in my own garden.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to taste it, but I don't want to taste it now.
Okay.
Look at everything here.
Yes, and please don't touch me with your bokkom hands, if you don't mind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look at this beautiful view. It feels like I'm in paradise. Bella, thank you for allowing us into your beautiful dinehouse.
It's wonderful having you here. I'm sorry there was a bit of a drizzle this morning. I didn't order that at all. I ordered perfect weather for you.
But it's perfect now for cooking.
Yeah.
But before we start, I want to talk about your new book, Dinehouse.
My barbecue.
Is it your baby? What was the inspiration behind this beautiful book?
I sound like a real mother, but I wanted to leave my child a legacy, if I can call it that. I wanted him to be really proud of his mother. So this is my story of growing up and my love for food and how it only developed much later in my life. It's unconventional because the recipes are not divided into certain sections. It's like the story leads into a recipe.
And you've got loads of heritage food, like West Coast food in here as well. Like the mussels we're going to cook here today.
This is my take on West Coast food. Want soos jy is ek 'n Vrystaat.
Yes, we're both Vrystaaters. You are from Tabanshu and I'm from Weppener. Yay, two Vrystaaters.
So it's my way of cooking West Coast food. I've incorporated things like samp, for instance, which is, we all know from the Free State. And I've learned to kind of do mussels in a perfect way. So it definitely is my take on West Coast food.
And if you want to win a copy of this beautiful Dinehouse book, go to our Facebook page and tell us what is your favorite seafood. T's and C's apply. Bella, I look at this array of Weskus kos.
Yes, yes.
Tell me about it. Let's start from the end there.
Okay, well, you brought the wonderful bokkums.
Yes.
And you're going to taste a little bit.
Please, can I taste it?
Voorspoed. Of je klein gee.
Oh my word. This is salty. I'm going to have to double up on my hypertension tablets.
So what I've done is I've made some bokkum butter. So I'm going to give you some bokkum butter. Okay, there you go. You can try that.
I love the smokiness of the vet, die roosterkoek, nee? And then the bokkum butter is really delicious. It's not as strong as the bokkum itself. What's next?
Okay. Then this is the soap slide that you picked. And it's absolutely amazing in a salad.
Okay, and then this is mussels.
Mussels. I think it's the one thing that I could probably eat almost every day.
But now, I want to know, does the people at home know that this is the beard of the mussel? I don't know if they know that because we buy them cleaned in the shop.
Yeah.
But look at this beard. So Bella, how do I get rid of this beard? It's like tough.
Okay, this one has got a nice beard. This is how it attaches itself to the rope. So
Okay.
all that I do, I don't, in restaurants and things, they really clean them very nicely.
I like it rustic.
Yeah, I love this because all of this adds taste to the mussel. So all you do is you actually yonk this out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there you go.
Can I try one?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me try and yonk some beard off here. So it is this way.
Ja, jy trek net sy baard af.
So,
yeah.
Oh, wow, I've done it.
Then we got West Coast oysters.
Oh, these look yummy.
They are the best ever.
The thing about fresh oysters out of the ocean is it tastes like the ocean #1. They've got lots of fluid still inside.
Yes.
So you can just take the shell off,
Yeah.
add a bit of Tabasco, lemon juice, whatever you want, and then you just...
Or eat it exactly like
just like that, from the rock. Are you going to show me how to chuck an oyster?
Oh, jette. Kom ons probeer.
Please, try and show me.
I've got the most amazing knife.
So how does it work?
First of all, you've got to have a decent
knife.
Yeah. And I hope that I'm not going to cut my wrists in the meantime, but somewhere here, there's a little gaatjie. You've got to go in between the two shells. Oh, jette.
So, I'm not going to try either. I think this is a job for a man. So I'm going to put this back. Okay, let's talk about the fish.
I think the one thing that is very important for me is to use seafood that is only sustainable. So it goes against my grain to use any fish that is not on Sassy's green list. So today we've got the only fresh fish I could get was angelfish.
Don't go away because when we come back, we're going to make some delicious mussels and Sam. Yes, Sam.
I'm looking forward to that. Mussels and samp.
I've never heard of that combo before.
Samp. Because I'm imagining you eating it because usually samba is like dinawa and then like you got a stew nyan on the side. Yeah, sauce nyan. So now you got it with samp with mussels. So do you de-shell?
You have like a beautiful sauce with the mussels.
Yeah, but then do you serve it like stampa and then
it has something on the side, or what do you? How do you do it?
You use the mussels as like the spoon thing.
Luckily, we've got a nail to show us. It's the West Coast way.
Yeah.
There's a culinary hotline that is inspired by all things heritage.
Absolutely.
And she, of course, made this entire trip to the West Coast. We're going to be getting really inspired by
Weskus
that.
rules, man. It really is awesome. Its cuisine is quite special.
It's like ting and custard.
Oh, man. No, my stomach is
No,
not...
think about that quickly.
I'm not feeling too well.
Think about that.
No,
ting,
please,
like
don't
ting,
think-
sour porridge.
Okay.
And custard. Think about that.
I need the butter.
Bon boy.
Bon boy!
Discover the new language of travel. Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences, rewards reimagined.
So then basically, Diana's going to...
I just need to sit like this, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, we're all together.
You want me to sit like this? Okay.
You need to see the two.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay, guys, let's go. So long.
She's princess. Lucian doesn't want to kill me. Princess.
So start from this. Let's go, guys. So long. Let's go. Or do you need to give him a key?
The paradise and all.
So you need to give.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Click like on that. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. It's a Monday morning, the start of a brand new week. You know, around about this time, we talk all things relationship. Now, we're celebrating all things diversity and culture, with Heritage Day being commemorated in Mzansi tomorrow. And of course, it's safe to say that now more than ever, we don't live in a homogenous society. There's all kinds of cross-cultural, multicultural relationships taking place, and families steadily becoming the norm. Those are the kind of families that we are getting used to. So today, we're asking, are you and your partner in a multicultural relationship? Are you navigating raising a multicultural family? Well, the relationship architect, Shelley Leon, is here in the building to help us discuss this very hot topic, and we'd love to hear from you as well. So all questions and comments are very welcome. You can pop them over on our Facebook page and we will engage with you. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. Thank you so much for joining us, Shelley.
Oh, pleasure. Thanks for having me back again.
No, we love having you here. Shelley, does this conversation make you nervous? South Africans, we love the fact that our culture is represented. Someone from overseas was looking at our behind the scenes. My mom had sent a little clip of our behind the scenes vibe here on the show, I think, from Presenter Search, and someone viewing from overseas who hadn't been in the country for a long time was looking at the vibe here on set and saying that it's just so now, contemporary South Africa as it is now. Are we seeing that represented in South African relationships? How common is a multicultural relationship in South Africa now, in your experience?
Well, I think that fortunately we're definitely making progress in that direction. You know, it's not this resistance to anything that's outside of the stereotypical norm is becoming very old-fashioned, let's put it, very old school, you know? And I think that in this day and age, that people want to experience different cultures and enjoy different cultures.
Yeah. And what do you think is, I mean, by and large, the reason why people, some people still see it as something controversial to see cross-cultural relationships?
Well, you know, no one is born a bigot. No one is born intolerant of people that are different to them. But I think that what happens is that we have stories that get handed down from generation to generation about them and us. Oh, we've got a visitor. Nice. And these stories that get handed down from them about them and us, and it creates a resistance to embracing people that are different. And then you'll have one experience and you'll be like, yes, that's not what I had in, you know, it confirms, there's that confirmation bias, it confirms what I've been told about them.
Yeah.
And we don't, if it's different to us, there's some fear involved, and it's learned behavior.
It's also a tale as old as time. The great Bard has even written about these things, and we're not just talking about race, but there any difference
Yes.
in culture,
Culture,
difference
exactly.
in religion,
Exactly.
in star-crossed lovers. We'll find a way, but it is difficult when the rest of your family doesn't support it, when it's different. We fear change, we fear anything different. Is it more difficult to maintain a romantic connection when you do have those other pressures in that space? Or is a relationship just as tricky regardless of the space that you're playing in?
Multicultural relationships are easy, said no one ever.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So I think it's only easier from the point of view that there's an understanding of the customs, maybe the values, the traditions of that culture, so that may be easier. And more hard work. There's more homework to be done if you don't know that your partner's culture. So it takes a lot of curiosity and interest and time to get to understand and learn about that person's culture if it's not one that you're familiar with. If you're interested in having a healthy relationship.
All right, well, I guess those are some of the downsides. When we come back, we'll talk about some of the benefits of dating across perhaps racial or cultural lines. And then maybe a question about whether couples should even consider discussing the differences in culture and how they each would handle it and how they'd handle it in a relationship before getting into one. Maybe that's a conversation to be had. Maybe
Are you dating the
not.
person or are you dating their family?
Are you dating their culture? That's the question to ask. Anyway, throw those comments and the questions at us on Expresso Morning Show SABC3. We'd love to hear from you as we continue our relationship talk very shortly.
Now that's some food for thought. Now for part 2 of our special West Coast edition of the culinary hotline bling. Tsing. Now Anel has just learned the proper way to remove the beards from the mussels, and Isabella is now going to teach her how to cook mussels and semp. What a combo. Yes, you heard it right, mussels with semp. Let's see how it all panned out.
I've been cleaning these beautiful sea morsels for a while now, and now Bella is going to teach me how to cook them. Let's start.
All right. Okay. First, we add some butter.
Real butter?
Real, of course.
Okay, real butter.
Preferably unsalted, because they're in their own little bit of sea inside their shell. Okay, and some olive oil. Then we do some roughly chopped onions.
Okay.
Got some roughly chopped garlic.
Yep.
Then we add some thyme. I don't really understand the prig, so there's a yellow handful to me, but
So it's a yellow handful. You don't clean the thyme leaves?
No.
Okay, so that goes in with a sprig?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
And you fry that up now?
Just until the onions are a little bit translucent.
Yeah.
And the butter is melted.
Yeah.
Right, and now we can add the mussels.
Can we add the mussels already?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you just gooi it in?
Gooi in. Now say. Yeah.
Bella, are these mussels alive?
Yes, they are.
Okay. So you close the lid immediately. Why?
Yes, because they have to steam. What is happening now is they're not so much cooking, they're steaming in their own juice.
So they're going to open up now?
In 5 or 7 minutes, they open up, and later, once they open, you will add some wine to it, but you don't have to. You can do alcohol-free beer, you can do an alcohol-free apple cider. I would not put grape juice or anything as sweet as that in, but people do, and definitely not water. Because once you've taken out the mussels, all that sauce at the bottom, the most amazing mussel soup.
So that is what actually giving that monjouigheid, like that.
Umami, wonderlike, ongelooflike smaak.
Ja.
Het smaakt soos die see.
Yes, yes.
Once they opened, most of them are opened, you take it off and you have to try and actually serve it almost immediately. With cultivated mussels, if the mussel doesn't open, the only thing it means is that the muscle has not actually relaxed. So what you do is you force it to open with a mussel shell. It's something different if you pick mussels from rocks. And then if a mussel doesn't open, I would think about it twice. But as the mussel farmer always says, that if there's a bad mussel in a box of mussels, you'll be able to smell it. Okay, Anel, it should be about 10 minutes now.
Whoa! Look at that!
Look how beautiful they are.
This is like a masterpiece.
It is.
But I see some white ones here.
Okay, those are the males.
Can I eat the male? Do you think I can taste them?
I think you can. And the orange ones are the females. These are mussels from Spain, Spanish mussels. There is a chocolate brown one, which is the it's a typical West Coast mussel.
So this is a female.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my word, I've never seen that.
Now this is a typical West Coast mussel. So now to this I'm going to add some wine.
But if you don't drink wine, you can have the non-alcoholic beer or the...
Or nothing.
Yeah, okay, or nothing.
Okay, so I'm going to add the wine. And at the same time, I'm going to add half a cup of coconut milk because we're going to eat it on Sam. It's just going to give it a little bit of creaminess. Go.
The wine.
Boil it for another minute or two.
Yeah.
And also now I want to show you, I'm going to put the lid on here, but I'm going to show you. This one is not completely open, so all you do
There's nothing wrong with it.
No, you force it open. Look at it.
Okay, I'm going to taste now, and I'm going to show everybody there's nothing wrong with it.
And she's still going to be here after 20 minutes. And the most wonderful thing is once you take all these mussels out, you've got like a quarter pot of soup at the bottom.
So how long will you cook that for now?
Now, minute or two, then we're done.
And then I'm really intrigued about the Sam because we both vrystaaters and we grew up with this.
Yeah, just a little bit like that. Quite filling.
Is that enough?
Yeah, lots more than enough. So what we'll do is we'll chop a little bit of parsley.
Okay, let me do that.
Klein bietjie petersilie wat ons bo-oor strooi, or you can do thyme, whatever you wish.
Daar gooi ons terug and then I do it over here.
Ja, net op die samp so bietjie. Okay, then we start adding the mussels. Thanks.
Oh.
Now it's got all that wonderful sauce.
Look at that.
At the bottom.
Yes.
Fabulous, fabulous sauce.
They look so plump and big.
They are. They're wonderful. They're great at the moment. So I like taking out a few mussels. And then we add
2 males, 2 females. There we go. All equal, as in life.
We add some around here.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah, this is beautiful.
And then we just get a ladle and we spoon some of this magnificent soup.
Sauce. Yeah, that's not a sauce, it's a soup.
It's a soup. Ladle the soup over it.
I smell thyme, I smell the ocean, I smell the parsley, there's a hint of the onion, and then that creaminess of the coconut. Everything is coming through in such a subtle way.
Yeah.
Can I taste this?
Oh, you must. There you go. Yeah.
Bella, I love the Sam. It adds a beautiful texture to it.
Yes.
High five, girlfriend.
That's it.
West Coast food is tops.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Can you see the amazing stuff you actually can do with South African food, taking samp and mixing that up with mussels, which you never would have imagined.
Heritage, that's what we're doing. Sister Princess, did you see that?
Yes.
Stampa and mussels.
Mussels.
So if you could imagine something different, né? A different combination of South African foods to celebrate heritage, what would you combine together?
Samp and what do you call it? This umngqusho with
He's going to think about
you know what?
This Xhosa language.
You know what is it called in Xhosa?
Umkhodu, like.
Umkhodu. Okay, there we go.
Yes,
there we go.
No, clever.
All right, listen. We not only are celebrating heritage in terms of our beautiful cuisine, but also wonderfully talented South African youngsters. Azili is here, and they are going to be performing on the 20th of October at the Artscape.
Yeah.
But you have them one more time performing on your Feel Good Breakfast show shortly after the break, and the performance they're about to give you will elevate your Monday to heavenly status. Heavenly status.
Taste love by those who have tried it. McAfee, great coffee, simple. See you after the break. See the world on your doorstep with SA Tourism. Short left and travel starts week of awesomely affordable packages to destinations around South Africa. From September 23rd to 29th on travelstar.co.za, the country, ocean, cities and hidden gems are all in reach with super discounted flights and accommodation. No visas, no stopovers or foreign exchange. Just glorious South African getaways you can experience this Heritage Month for Travel Week.
Welcome back to it. Yeah, Monday mornings have never been so heated. We're having great discussions with Shelley Lewin off camera, and we're going to continue that right now. We're talking about relationships, and especially when it comes to cross-cultural, cross-racial, interreligious relationships, everything that crosses boundaries of the norm, and how you go about handling it at home, how you should handle it. Let us know. Ask us those questions and throw those comments at us on Expresso Morning Show SABC3. That's our Facebook page. So earlier on, we talked about the downsides, I guess, handling family dynamics and the expectations from two different sides of traditional families, non-traditional families. But let's talk about the benefits of being in a cross-cultural, or let's call it an interchange relationship.
A modern.
Is there like a broad term to define these?
Well, I
Is there
can
a clinical
speak from
term? Yeah.
experience. So on a lighter note, I can speak from experience just to say that, so I'm Christian and I married a Jewish man. And one of the benefits is that we never argue about who we're spending Christmas with and who we're spending Pesach and Rosh Hashanah with. So, but the downside of that is obviously then that because he didn't grow up experiencing the magic of Christmas, it's like a non-event for him.
Yes.
You know, so that's, but to be more serious, the benefit I would say is that you really get to see and experience a different perspective completely. You know, when we were chatting off camera, is that you really do get to understand someone else's world completely, and it may be completely different. There's a lot of assumptions that happen when people are in the same culture as you.
Completely. Will we blindly follow dogma? There are a lot of pitfalls, but that could be a much broader conversation. I also, to a certain extent, am experiencing this with my child, and I love the fact that he is learning things that I could have never taught him, that he will know that I'm not the beginning and the end of everything that he needs to know. So there is an opportunity to share and grow, but when children are involved, that's where it becomes critical on how you yourself see and want to pass your culture on. Is this a dangerous space to play in, and where do you start as parents specifically when it comes to passing on those traditions to your children?
Yeah, so in my case, I think that, and I'll speak on my behalf and some of the people that I've worked with, is that it's up to the couple to decide before they have children which of their customs, their values, their sets of beliefs do they want to share and, you know, to pass on. So in my situation, we've shared, these are the customs and traditions of Christianity, these are the customs and traditions of Judaism. You get to experience both, and he can then choose which one, if any of those, he wants to practice and take forward, which I know dilutes, and that's one of the big concerns, and you have this external pressure, is that you are diluting a culture because we're not imposing or enforcing either one. But we have a very open-minded child who's now curious about all sorts of religions and all sorts of cultures. And, you know, that to me is also one of the benefits, is that he's very open and very tolerant of all types of people and different cultures.
And I think that's such an amazing thing, to be able to raise a child to not only be tolerant, but to be broadly understanding of what is happening around the world. Like you said, that
you have to now.
You absolutely have to. It's so important. So that is, I think, one reason to just say, well, let's all cross-cultural date then. But as we've said earlier on, there are some downsides to it, and it could result in conflict. So with that said,
a lot of external pressure and conflict comes from the families that don't want that dilution. You know, and also that feel very strongly about maintaining and upholding certain customs and traditions in their family.
So what do you say?
How do you handle
with this? Yeah, what do you say to your parent, the grandparent in the mix, or even if kids aren't in the mix? What do you say when that pressure?
You say, thank you, I really appreciate your opinion, and we will do what works best for us and our family.
Love that. You are the architect. You are the architect of the relationship.
Require. Thank you so much. And if you're looking for Shelley's details and you're looking to follow her on social media, @Coaching2Love is where we can find you on social media. And thank you once again for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Hopefully that was an insightful conversation for you on this Monday morning.
Beautiful conversation. And now we head back to Langebaan because you know what? We all love a fish on the braai. And in our special West Coast edition of the Culinary Hotline Bling, Anel took a trip up the coast to visit Isabella Niehaus in the Langebaan to learn all about how the locals braai fish on the viscous. Now, I must say, here in studio, we are all intrigued as we thought fish should normally be braaied low and slow. Well, let's take a look at how Bella does it.
What a glorious day on the West Coast. It's a perfect day for a fish braai. Bella?
Yes.
How do you braai fish?
I have my own way of doing it. I think most people will probably think I'm completely mad or men will be disgusted with me. But I do it over really, really hot coals.
Oh, wow.
And then I was taught by some fishermen. They gave me the recipe for a marinade. It's so simplistic. And ever since I've started doing that, I've started to love braaiing fish. It's so, and I do it on the skin side over really, really hot coals. I leave it till it's almost perfectly done and then net vir 'n sekonde draai ek dit om. But this marinade keeps any fish from being dry. In a way, it almost cooks the fish because there's so much lemon juice in it.
Well, I'm salivating. Let's start. So, did you cut it like this, or did your fishmonger cut it open? So you can ask a fishmonger to what do you call it, butterfly it for you?
Yeah, and normally, nowadays, you can even get angelfish that's been filleted, where all the bones have been taken out.
So you put it skin side down when you marinate it like that. Yeah. Okay, let's start. So you say soya sauce?
Yeah.
Can I use that less salty, less sodium soya sauce as well, or do you have to use this?
No, you can use whatever you wish. Okay. Yeah.
So that is lemon juice going in. Olive oil.
Good olive oil, yeah. Equal quantity.
Extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin. We're going here with the garlic.
Some garlic.
Yeah.
Crushed garlic.
Love a little bit of garlic, and then always lemon.
Yeah, there's some lemon juice and some lemon zest. Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it. So once I pour all of that over, I turn the fish around, and you turn it around again, and it should marinate for about an hour.
Okay.
As long as you wish, but an hour is, And then it goes on the braai. That's it.
Cannot get easier than this, eh? Let's go and braai this fish.
Okay.
Bella, jy gaan dit nou vel...
Ja, on the skin.
Velkant. Okay. So sit vir my...
Ek gaan nou eers grootjies opsit.
Okay. So that's the biggest one.
It's a bigger one.
So it's skin down, and then this has been marinating for about an hour. Okay.
Yeah.
And then this fire is hot.
It can even, in fact, be almost...
hotter?
It is, yeah. So I
keep it hotter than this.
Well, I don't mind a few flames every now and then.
Really?
It doesn't bother me, no.
Okay, so this is on.
Yeah.
Skin side, how many minutes?
I'd say about 11, 12. It all depends, 11, 12 minutes. There's a little one here, which is obviously going to be done much quicker than the other two. Yeah, it all depends. For me, normally 12, 15 minutes, can take a little bit longer. It really depends on the heat.
So that's like 12 minutes on the one side, on the skin side.
Yeah.
And then that's it, or do you turn
Then I turn it around literally for 2 to 3 minutes just to get color on the outside.
Yeah. Bella, this looks ready. Is it ready?
Yes, I think so. Let's have a quick squiz. I just take a toothpick.
Yeah.
Put it in and pull it apart and you can see. Okay, so we'll just turn it around. It gets a little bit of color.
Oh, look on this side.
Now look how beautiful the crispy skin.
I want that.
You can have it. Yeah.
Bella, do you take the skin off or do you serve it with the skin?
I normally serve it off the skin. I take it off the skin, but I'll always find people who will come into the kitchen and say, may we have some of the skin, because that is sometimes, for a lot of people, it's like part of the delicacy. Yeah.
I will definitely be one of those people, yeah. Bella, I'm sure it's ready now. Can we take it off?
Yeah.
That is really delicious.
Yeah.
It looks divine.
You can see how good it looks.
Bella, this really looks scrumptious. But, as I say, the proof is in the taste. So let's dig in. I can't wait. So where do I start? What is the best part?
Die sagte deeltjie.
The soft.
Okay, yeah. Look at that.
Can I dig in with my hands?
Of course. It's the best way to eat it.
Gosh, look at this. It's just so flaky. I'm going to put it in some of the sauce. It is moist, it's delicious, that succulence with the umami flavor of the soya sauce, and the lemon zest just cuts through the richness. It is perfection. Thank you, Anel. Bella, jy ken van braai.
Those Dunnies know how to make a fish. It looks so delicious and so easy to make as well, which is absolutely fantastic. We love that. Now remember, we're giving away a book, and if you want to win a copy of this Den Hay, so all you have to do is visit our Facebook page and tell us what your favorite seafood dish is and why. That's on Expresso Morning Show SABC 3. Terms and conditions apply. You can find them on expressoshow.com. Good luck.
This is Season 9 of Tropica Island of Treasure. Welcome to Curacao in the Caribbean.
Buy Tropica and come find your smooth fame and fortune. Audition online now to compete with your favorite celeb,
and you could join us in paradise
and stand a chance to win your share of a smooth 1 million rand. Grab a Tropica for details and see you in paradise.
The more Tropica you buy, the more chances you have to win hundreds of thousands of prizes. Tropica, nothing smoother.
Science reaches for the truth. It works for the big and small, for the old and young. And with knowledge as our first ingredient, science is at the heart of our food. For differences you can see, feel, and trust. It all starts with science.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can't believe it's only 10 minutes left. It's so good to be back in the driver's seat, loving being back here after having a week abroad last weekend. Come back to this exciting news, guys. Toni Braxton is coming to South Africa. She is awesome, man. So
What's your favorite Toni? That was my next question.
Unbreak My Heart?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
That's the one I know, like, more than any other. But she's a superstar.
A classic. Cat was your sing it.
My heart.
Yeah, baby. Oh, come on. Now, if you're a fan, you have two ways of going. You can either buy tickets or you can just go to a McDonald's and hopefully sing that song, spend $180 or more, and you're automatically in the running to win double tickets that are valued at 1,600 rand.
Wow, that's actually really nice. So Toni Braxton will be performing her As Long As I Live tour in Joburg on the 9th of November, then down in the Mother City on the 12th of November. So get your Mickey D's, get your tickets, and don't miss out on this really cool opportunity. Remember, all the terms and conditions do apply and can be found on mcdonalds.co.za.
Cat, unbreak my heart, oh baby.
Well, if your heart is broken, let's mend it for you, okay? Let's mend that heart for you, and how you can do that is by buying tickets to watch these guys perform on the 20th of October at the Artscape. It is the CPO Spectacular, and you can check out tickets on CompuTicket. They are called Azili the Originals. They are a beautiful ensemble group that have been performing for us and entertaining us on this Monday morning. And just to, as we said earlier on, to elevate your Monday to heavenly status, listen to them singing Something Inside So Strong.
Taller inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. The more you refuse to hear my voice, the louder I will sing. Yeah, you hide behind walls of Jericho, tumbling down. Yeah, deny my place in time. You squander wealth that's mine. My light will shine so bright it will blind you. Because there's something inside so strong. I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh, something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Sizokumelela, 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 ngeke basiqede namhlanje. So strong, I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no, something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so
I'm sure our Father is happy to hear these voices wherever he is.
Children of the continent, thou shalt flourish all the days of your life.
Take a bow.
That was beautiful. Take a bow, guys.
Oh, yeah.
They're called Azili. Follow them on social media at Azili_the originals.
Beautiful.
They are absolutely amazing. Can you imagine this, right? With an entire Cape Philharmonic Orchestra backing them up. And just acoustics and timpani drums and cellos and strings just
They're imagining it right now, man. That's amazing.
But the nice thing is you can actually get tickets, so you don't have to just leave it at imagining. You can actually buy the tickets and go check them out. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. What a way to get into a brand new week. So feel good.
Monday for what, eh? Monday for
what? Blues? What Monday blues?
You know Wednesday's show, right? So it's on the 20th of October.
Correct.
Which is, say it with me now, 9 days before my birthday.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Katlego. Here's some tickets to go. Got you the VIP tickets, double tickets. It's amazing. And then we also got you a meet and greet with them afterwards.
Is that what you want? Is that what you'd like?
And then also, we also got you a holiday.
Did you tell Tux you went for a 5K run?
Oh, I did. So yesterday I went for a 5K run, just like spontaneously, you know.
Nice. I usually do 8Ks,
me and Monique in Phoenix, we went. She was on the bike with the baby, and I was like running. It was amazing. You should try it out.
It's amazing. That's some.
Go do something special with your day, with your life. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Make someone smile. Bye.
Well done.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Nada. Feel Good production.